What's up, guys? This is JC, and welcome to the Wealth Engineering Podcast. I create content to help you increase your net worth, retire early, and build generational wealth. If this is something that interests you, you're about to start your journey, or you have started your financial journey already, make sure you click on the like button, subscribe, and hit the bell. Let's do that financial journey together. With that said, guys, there is an interesting topic I have for you. Innovation. Should you be invested in innovation? Earlier this week, I talked about the trend, the power of trends, and that is definitely one of the things that I do to maintain and find great projects out there that I can invest in. And innovation is definitely one of them. But before we get into it, I'm also going to invite someone on the panel today, a friend of mine, and he's also the founder of the Black Traders Clubs. I'm going to invite him on a panel as well. We're going to discuss about innovation together. But before I start, let me give a shout out to everyone who's early. Shout out to Aaron B for hitting the like button. Make sure if you want to support the channel, hit the like button and also comment. Hey guys, if you have any questions, if there is anything you want to be clear at, a comment, and we'll be looking for a comment. Again, thank you, Aaron, for showing up, and let's get into it. So, today again, guys, having understanding the power of trend is very important, and I'm going to bring someone here today on the panel. Again, he's a friend of mine. He loves Cathie Woods. And the reason why I'm talking about Cathie Woods is because she's kind of like the rock star when it comes to innovation investing. So I'm going to bring him on. But he's the founder of the Black Traders Club, a Facebook group that is very successful. And he's also my friend. So with that said, without further ado, let me introduce to you Jay Edmo. How are you doing, Jay?
Hey, GC, how's it going, man? Thanks for having me on your channel
Very
and
good,
being on
very
the
good, very
podcast. I'm
good.
doing great. I'm doing great, man. I was looking my Tesla stocks at the closing, and yeah, I got to tell that I'm pretty excited, man. I was doing good, but at the closing bell Friday, I was doing even better.
Yeah. This week was awesome for Tesla. Again, when we're talking about innovation, investing in innovation, if you had invested in 2020, we're talking about April 2020 when the dip happened, you had invested in Tesla, which is at the forefront of innovation. Oh, your portfolio would be looking very, very good. So
I
again,
can tell.
if you're looking for something, an inspiration right there, you can you can use Jay's portfolio right now. And first of all, before we get into the nitty gritty details, a couple of things I want to make notes of. Let me see. You have like this portrait behind you here. Um, is that for inspiration?
My friend, this movie is like my classic of all time.
Classic,
Uh,
eh?
not for the greedy side of it, but
Yeah.
for the unorthodox side of it,
Mm,
the going hungry side of it,
yeah. The
from
drive,
the
the
Wolf of Wall
ambition.
Street, yeah, his upbringing and his determination. But of course, it also serves as a warning that when you get too greedy, it's a
Mm,
reminder that things can get pretty messed up, and you can have to. Right now, he's a very successful guy. I do follow him on his Jordan Belfort. I just follow him on his various social media, but he made some mistakes that we can all obviously learn from. But I like that picture. Great movie, great actor Leonardo DiCaprio, and yeah, definitely. That's why I have that. It's one of my favorite scenes. That scene where he talks about what money is and what it can do, and it's always a classic I like to turn back to.
absolutely, and I see you have other inspiration, wealth inspiration behind you. With and again, before we get any further, I did notice this Art Invest sweater. My God! So for those of you who doesn't know, we're gonna talk about Cathie Woods today because if we're talking about investing in innovation, Cathie Woods has to be part of this conversation. Cathie Woods founded this company, Art Invest, that helps people with creating ETFs and putting that on the stock market that basically facilitate investment in innovation for people who may not know exactly which stock to take, how to allocate their portfolio. So it makes it super easy. You can just buy an ETF and just let it sit. And I believe some of them might even pay dividends. We'll look into that later. But Ark Invest is definitely a great company, and this guy already has his sweater on, Ark Invest sweater, so he is ready. He is ready to talk
I'm
about
ready, man.
innovation today.
Lock
Uh,
and loaded.
like I know they do. But before, let me talk a little bit more about yourself. I was wondering if you could introduce yourself a little bit to the public, who you are, what do you do, and let's go from there.
Absolutely, absolutely. So again, thanks a lot for having me on your channel, Jean-Charles. Well, I mean, Jean-Charles, I'm sorry, GC. Yeah, that's your name. Don't want to mess it up
It's
here.
okay. You can call me
It's
anywhere you want.
all right, man. So we're gonna keep it GC for the audience, as the name they know you on. So yeah, well, what I can say about me, I'm Jay Edmond. I'm a passionate. I'm a geek for tech. I'm a tech lover, and that's is what drives me to only look at innovation when I looking at for a good investment strategy. And I'm also, I would say, a capitalist by nature. You
Mm,
know, the capitalist and the importance of educating ourselves financially, know about wealth, how wealth is created, how wealth is attracted. And for that, I believe there's the qualities of being a capitalist can definitely give you an edge. To talk about myself, well, what can I say? I'm a guy that I can describe myself as a family man. You know, I have a son, a spouse. I am a hard worker. I am working very hard to retire before 40 years old, and also I'm an evangelist for financial literacy in the community, which is the reason why I have co-founded the movement that is called the Black Traders Club. It's a Facebook group that I've created, but let's say that the movement that I believe is larger than just the Facebook group was co-founded by me and some people, including you, GC. You know, you were one of the early guy of the movement. You were actually, on our when we have our podcast, you were the first guest on the
really?
podcast. So it's kind of I guess a turnaround of events. Now I'm a guest featuring on your show. So yeah,
Yes,
so
yes.
essentially this movement that we have created serves to essentially make the subject of money from a different perspective. You know, when we in the community, especially among the young ones, when we gather, we in our hangouts, the way we talk about money, if this could be addressed from an investment and a wealth creation perspective. And even though we don't have to be very knowledgeable in this subject, but just so we can just for us to start brainstorming about the subject, and it will entice our curiosity, so we can start doing the research, and then it will lead us to start reading books about financial literacy, or watch videos. Right now the information can be digested more easily than reading books. Some people, including myself, I hate taking a large size book and read for hours and hours. I would rather just watch a carefully constructive YouTube videos with animations, a little bit of what GC's doing. That's why I'm one of a subscriber to his channel. And by the way, subscribes to Wealth Engineering, everyone who's watching this. So big shout out to GC and Wealth Engineering. So and also yeah, well, educating the community. It's baby steps, but it's slowly but surely. So
Thank you.
that's a little bit of what I do, and what I'm passionate about.
Thank you. And again, this guy is being humble. Yes, definitely. That was especially in Montreal, we don't have any resources like that where we can, for people in our community to go and interact with people that look like ourselves, to learn about sharing some knowledge for free or some resources, whether it's paid, but definitely more efficient. But it's mostly you. I was just joining along, helping, supporting the movements. And then, yes, we're doing that as well online. Now, again, let me pull it back because we hear a lot, we see you a lot online, we see you a lot in the group. If there is anyone from the Black Traders Club on the group here, shout out and give us a shout out on the comments. I wanna give you a shout out as well. And while I'm there, I want to say, hey, DJ Flip, thank you for showing up early and interacting in the chat. I like seeing that, guys. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe as well. And yeah, let's take our financial journey together, guys. Let's do it together. Now, Jay, let me pull it back a little bit. Did you say very quickly? Did you say that you retire or you're about to retire in your 40s?
I am on track. I'm well on track to retire before I'm 40. So that's in about 3 years. But I'm pretty sure 2022 is pretty much the it's according to my estimate. I'll be 2 years earlier than my plan, which was to
Wow.
retire by 40. So I think
That
that yeah.
that 2020 really accelerated everyone's
Oh
financial
yeah,
goals. Eh?
definitely.
Yeah. Oh my God. I know
I didn't
exactly what
expect
you mean.
innovation. I didn't expect innovation to explode this fast and this quick
Mm.
and this much. So definitely, I think it changes the plan, but in a good way.
Absolutely, guys.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Now, let me ask you this. I want to pull it back because now you're about to retire. That means if you're going to retire in your 40s, guys, you need to have some sort of level of financial education. If you're not born rich, if your parents are not giving you lots of money, then that's pretty much the only way to do it. If you're working a normal 9 to 5 jobs, you need to be financially educated so that you can set up a plan. And it might take you 10 years, it might take you five. If you're lucky, you may have a year like 2020 and some 2021 innovation that accelerate your the process. But at the end of the day, you need that financial education. But there was a time, Jay, that you did not have this information, that you couldn't find it in school. Like if I would pull back and bring you in the high school days, like what were you like in high school? Like how were you thinking about money then? What were you thinking about doing as a career? Tell us a little bit about the Jay from high school.
Well, in a nutshell, I was a daydreamer, man. I was a daydreamer. I hated the monotony, like it's monotony of school, the schooling system. I hated it, but I loved education. I'm a lover of education. I'm a natural curious. I could engage in many conversation that goes from religious conversation all the way to tech, with finances and social issues. I can talk about many various subjects, and I have developed a genuine curiosity. But the schooling system, that mold where you sit in a class and you try and you learn by memory. So just memorize what the guy in front of you, who definitely is the guy. Not that I hate teachers, but people that have big aspirations, big dreams. The guy, the person that is best fit to teach that individual that has this aspiration is not a teacher that's part of that earns a modest salary. He cannot tell him how to be successful. He can only tell him, well, study this, remember that, and that's what's going to be your next test, and pass the test, and you'll move on. So the school format, the system of the school, I hated it. I thought it was boring, and as a high school kid, I had genuine interest for history, economy, social issues, and I was curious in these things. Now, my journey, if you want, while I was young and didn't have all that knowledge, my journey with money started in a very awkward way, and that's the story I was talking to you about. GC. So my first experience with money, it started with a moment of truth that lasted around 10 minutes. So let me picture this. Let me paint the scenario. I'm 16 years old. Okay, it's my first ever job, a factory job. The first time I'm gonna earn a living trading my time for a wage. So it's me work getting, I'm in the bus and I'm all excited. I'm gonna start a night shift and I'm gonna start working like and earn money like my parents do. I thought that this was the way that you earn a lot of money. And the first 10 minutes I spent in that factory floor, I've had my moment of truth. I knew from that moment, it only took me 10 minutes to realize that I will never, ever have that as a preferred choice as a way to earn a living. For me, it didn't make no sense that a human being earn a living this way. This is the place of a machine. This is how machine work. But a human being with all this potential, all these dreams, spend 8 hours on a factory floor doing this tack, lifting the box, putting it there, putting stuff in the box, and taping a pallet for 8 hours. And you spend your time doing that. You're not doing anything creative. And that is what people earn a living, spent years doing that just so they can pay the bills. No, for me, it did not make sense. It did not make sense. So this, if you want, this is what has sparked a 20 years journey to freedom.
Hmm.
And I had no experience, like you said, no education. I was gonna start from scratch, and you know, it all started with asking around, asking friends. So I'm at this job, and there are people who are in business, and they earn a lot of money, and this is where someone that knows someone gets you into your first MLM. You know, now no disrespect to MLMs, I would rather be in MLMs than to work at factory jobs. You know, that's how I became a very good salesman. I got into marketing because of that. But MLMs, at least, they kind of plant the seed, right? The seed that makes you dream. And from there, it can work out in your brain, depending on how you, if you want to, you transform that energy, what you do about it. But if the aspiration is there, the success starts with a desire, right? Starts with a desire. Now the desire fuels your motivation to get the information and do what you have to do to make it real. But that seed, when you go in these first MLM meetings saying that it's possible, you just work hard and you'll make it, and look at this CEO, look at that CEO. I kind of needed that at the state of mind where I was at when I was wondering, okay, well, how do people get rich, right? Do they go to school? Do they get a PhD? Do they get a master's? Do they have to, master several disciplines? Do you have to be a doctor, and from there you work your way up in the government, and then you hired by a big business, and you eventually become CEO of that business, and that's how you become filthy rich? I did not know. I didn't know. So all these questions were in my head. We're in a North American society in Montreal. For some in Toronto or New York, you see rich people all around you. You see people driving super luxury cars, riding private jets, flying first class. Flying for first class. They're all around you. But it's from where I am, my position, to where they are. How do we bridge that? So, but you have to want to get there, right? You have to want to get there, not just say to yourself, well, all I want is enough to pay for my small apartment and, get by and, eat every day. If that is your aim, then you will have the means that comes with that. But me, my ambitions were big. I knew I didn't want to I didn't want to find myself at 40 plus years old where I'm going to be less healthy, I'm going to be more trending towards my retirement than my youth days. So when I'm going to be a certain age and my kids are going to be a certain age, how do I want to earn a living? Do I even want to earn a living anymore, or just want to retire, be home, and do things that I love? And yeah, that's the journey. But the nice the I love the way the story ends, and it may end next year. That 20 plus year old journey has a happy ending so far.
Well, it's not necessarily an ending. It might be
A
a
new
new
beginning, a
beginning.
next chapter. That's right.
Exactly,
That's right.
exactly. It's
That's
ending
right.
of one chapter, beginning of another one. Now, let actually, you alluding it to this. That's going to lead me to my next question. So we understand how you got there, right? You started at
Yeah.
16. You had that factory job. I can definitely say a factory job where you have to do physical labor,
Yeah.
repetitive, no brain power, just replacing the machine, basically just buying time until the machine replace you.
Yeah.
That definitely going to make you think about your future quick, as
Absolutely.
opposed to staying comfortable in an office. You have the
Yeah.
secretary walking around, like you have some nice coworkers you can have fun with. So that's a
Yeah.
more laid back, and it makes you feel like you might be comfortable for the rest of your life until you have the awakening moment. So
Yeah.
for you, the awakening moment happening very young, which is
Came
great,
early.
because that now you're all set up to be retired. But for me, the awakening moment, I it happened to me at 29 years old. So it took me a while, and I'm starting. I'm within about 5 years in my journey now. So again, that's it started. As long as you start your journey, guys, that's the
Yeah.
most important, and it's the beginning of the journey that is the hardest part to do.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Once you started, you built momentum. We actually made a stream about that earlier today. Shout out to Aaron, shout out to Andy and DJ Flip, and shout out to everyone that was on that stream as well. We are talking about the 10 level of your financial journey. And here you just heard it described right here. He had his awakening. That's usually happened within the first three phases, and then you start your journey. Before that, it's not going to happen. So if you're
Yeah.
about to start your journey, guys, use this as an inspiration. Don't wait any longer. It might take you a while before you get there, but you need to start. But
Yeah.
now let's talk to us a little bit about your life right now. So, how is your financial portfolio looking like? You don't have to disclose any numbers if you don't feel comfortable, but if you do, that's fine. But how is we understand your life then? How is it now, and how did you get there?
Well, obviously, GC, I'm not going to read you a financial statement there. That's, but I would tell you that right now, if I can give you a broad picture, I have launched a real estate venture last spring, and now I'm on track. Before next spring, I will have already expanded into the commercial sector. So
Mm,
things are going pretty well then on that end. And I also have investments. I'm a big bull in tech stocks, and I'm a long term investor in disruptive innovation.
mm,
I was very long, and my biggest position was in Tesla.
mm,
Second position was Palantir, and then I had a couple of many. It was broadened in the ETFs of ARK between ARK K, so their flagship fund, and ARK the genomics, and also ARK Invest for space exploration.
mm,
I have, if you want, I have swing traded my ARK Invest position to and reduce my Tesla position. Took a little bit of profit, and I've increased my position in Palantir. But my biggest position, I've made a big entry in IMQ, which is the quantum computing tech. I've discovered quantum computing years ago. Years ago, it started with D Wave, and I was a curious guy. I was spending hours on YouTube looking about look to I was curious about tech, big tech. And what brought me there, if I can go even deeper, is that I don't know if some of you have watched that very, very famous movie. It went very viral. It was like a documentary about the inefficiencies of the financial system
mhm.
and the flaws of the financial system. It was called Zeitgeist Addendum. Did you heard about that, GC?
Oh my God, man, we have so much in common. It was around 2009.
Yeah, by
2009.
Peter
Yo,
Joseph.
yo, it's a French guy. He has a French name. The
Yeah,
French, I
well,
think he died in 2013, but he looks very old, and he's a
Jacques
futuristic.
Fresco. That's
Jacques
the guy from
Fresco.
the Venus
Oh my
Project. Yeah.
God,
So
man, this
I'm
is
telling
you.
you,
There is so many people who have not seen this, but for me, this movie was priceless, priceless.
this was that got me into tech. I would say this is the starting point. This was the point where I
Wow.
said, you know what, tech is the future. Because the thing is, and I'm telling you, the Venus Project, especially the
Venus
second
Project.
section
Yeah.
of the Zeitgeist and then the movie, it would give Elon Musk an erection. So when you saw what was possible and he described the future, how the future will look like, and this really got me into curious about nanotechnology, and also the Internet of Things, how
Mm.
the next 5G, nanotech, quantum computing, but especially quantum computing, that was next level, man. I saw like the first videos of D-Wave and its founder, Jordy Rose the, this from British Columbia, and the way he was describing quantum computers and what will they be in the future, the things that they will play in the future. And I told myself, man, if I can jump in that technology, and back then that was 2009, 2010, you would talk about quantum computers to anybody in 2009, they would look at you like it's like trying to explain a caveman how an iPhone works. They're like, dude, what are you talking about, man? You're too far in the future. And today we have IonQ, who went public via SPAC a couple of weeks ago, and the stock's
Mm.
doing great. So yeah, just to close the parentheses, but I'm glad you did watch the movie too.
Man,
Zeitgeist Addendum. If you guys haven't watched that, it's a movie that was made
wait,
in
wait. Let me
2009.
show it to them. Let me show it to them. I found it. I went there and
You
found
found
it.
it.
Oh man, you don't
so,
understand. This movie is
this movie
priceless.
is an eye opener. It's pretty much
Holy
an eye
cow!
opener.
So
Yeah,
it's this one right here, guys. I don't know if you can
yeah,
see it. Zeitgeist, the movie. That was the first one
yeah.
I
That's the
saw. I
first one.
saw
That
it
was
around
more about religion, but Zeitgeist Addendum, I think that's the eye. I think that's the eye. Zeitgeist
yeah,
Addendum.
these two guys. Watch these
Yeah,
two. But
yeah,
I would definitely encourage people to watch the first one first, and then you
yeah.
watch this one.
Yeah,
Oh
there's
man.
three. It's a trilogy, and it's really, 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 really. It was an eye opener. This is what got me
Oh
into tech. This is what converted me in tech. It's like, okay, tech is the future, especially AI, because
yes.
AI will disrupt everything. You see what uh, Netflix did to. There was the internet. The internet was a disruptor. You saw what Netflix did to Blockbuster. You saw what Uber did to the taxis, and you
Mm.
saw what all the internet disruptions out there. But AI, it will be even more brutal, even
Oof.
more brutal.
Oof.
AI will disrupt century-old industries. You see, the industrial age industry, like the auto industry, the legacy automakers, they're 20th-year-old industry. The same thing for aviation, the same thing for space. These are
Mm.
big 20-year-old, 20th century industry that are going to be disrupted by AI. So SpaceX is AI,
Mm.
Tesla is AI, and they're disrupting these sectors. How do they do it? They don't outcompete them. It's just that AI makes costs so much lower, and they only beat them in terms of cost. It takes the guy, the CEO of VW was saying it takes Tesla 10 hours less than us to produce a Model 3, and they sell it and the cost is like 3 times less. So the margins are bigger, and they can chunk out a whole lot more of them per
In
hour. So it's
manufacturing,
in
this is
manufacturing,
huge.
it's
This is
crazy.
crazy, especially with the cost, right? So the margin, your
Yeah,
profit margins are way
3D
higher.
printing, 3D
Yes,
printing.
yes,
The giga casting. This is crazy. So the OEMs will not catch up. You
of
saw Mary
course.
Barra and the guy from Ford saying that, oh yeah, 2025 we will crush them. By 2025 they have the Cybertruck, Tesla Semi, FSD, and they're probably in India, Brazil, and they probably have even bigger Terra factories. 2025, this is when you'll be competing with Tesla's cars today.
Yeah,
But in 2025,
it will
Tesla's
be
cars
something else.
with the
We're gonna
4680
get into
cells.
that, but we're gonna get into that. So
Yeah,
basically,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I was
So
actually going to ask you
yeah,
why were you investing in innovation? And you sort of answered it already. It's basically
Yeah,
because,
but
well, first you said, hey, you found out about that movie. That movie put the bug in your mind. Then you started looking into innovation, started looking into quantum computing very early on because of that movie. I was
yeah,
very smart of you. I was in university, electrical engineering, electrical and computer engineering, and I didn't even think about investing in quantum computing at the time. And that's the other thing, guys. When you don't wake up yet, when you're not doing your awakening, you're still thinking with the poor mindset. There is a lot of unlocking in your mind. The same information, you might perceive it in a different way. Me, I was thinking of it, oh, this is entertaining, this is educating, but I wasn't thinking about the investing and how to retire early part from it, right? I
yeah,
was more thinking about the MLM. I was doing
yeah.
MLM too. And I will make a podcast about MLM, and I want to invite someone who's religious about MLM. I want to have a debate, man, for and against, man, because MLM, man, it's destroying life, especially in Montreal. It's destroying life. But
Yeah.
at the time, I was deep in MLM, and I didn't think about it that way. And
But
I was,
MLMs, the good side about MLMs is that they will awaken your entrepreneurial side. This
yes,
is I would say MLM is a good place to start if you have no idea what business is, because instead I would say go to an MLM instead of going to a business school. Because at least the MLM, you will have the incentive of getting reward for your work,
yeah.
instead of going to business schools and trying to get the best scores for you to be hired by the best firms. I would
Yeah,
always say
I'll
like
go a
an
bit further. I would say go if you're in school, do a MLM part time. But if you really
yeah,
want to avoid business school as opposed to like doing your own business, I would say do your own startup.
yeah,
that
yeah,
that
definitely.
will teach you very quick, my friend.
Definitely your own
Oh,
startup. But yeah, definitely, just to wrap up the previous question about what my financial situation is right now. So I have a portfolio in lots of stocks in techs, in tech. I do also have crypto, but I'm more of a swing trader when it comes to crypto.
mm,
So I go with a certain trend and I secure profit and jump in the next trend. That's what I
mm.
did with Ethereum, with Dogecoin. I missed the Shiba Inu too, by the way. I saw your video about missing out. I felt bad too. I did miss
Man,
out.
come
I
on
think
the
a
Discord,
lot
my
of us
friend.
did.
On the Discord, my friend, we've been talking about Shiba since April, man.
I think Shiba is what's trending right now, but now are there some people who are FOMOing on Shiba right now? Probably that's what's keeping the price up. But will it consolidate? Most likely, yeah. I have yet to have me the next catalyst I'm waiting, especially for Doge and Ethereum, is when Tesla will resume crypto payments. It will surely involve the Dogecoin or and Ethereum and of course Bitcoin. Now, will that include also Cardano and all the other more
Yeah.
established coin? We'll have yet to see, but I'm bullish for Doge and ETH when it comes to Tesla accepting crypto on that end. And also rapidly on top of that, I have I have around like five streams of income. Three of them are passive. It's from my real estate venture, my investments, and also business, private equity. It's a business that it's more like family owned, but the activities we have in the
Mhm.
Caribbean. So I have a if you want a share of that for providing seeding capital for
Mm.
that. And I also have like two earned incomes. I have a good six-figure job that I'm probably going to leave eventually. That's the job for that's gone in 2022. And I do have like my business, my marketing business, for which I believe for Wealth Engineer I did a video, and I have a couple of other contracts in the US and all that. So it's a little bit time consuming, but I have found a way to manage my time efficiently, so I can have some time to do activities for the Black Traders Club, and be featured on the on your channel and chat, and stick to my mission to evangelize the importance of financial literacy, because it did make a difference for my life. I didn't start rich, but I was awakened early, and because
Mm.
I'm naturally curious, that has what has led me to the right information And I capitalize on the fact that we are in the information age.
Mm,
You don't need to pay people to do some research and read newspapers and stuff. You just take your smartphone and access the information you want, and take strategic and timely decisions on the market with the right information and capitalize on that information. So yeah, that's the new wealth, man. Information is the new wealth.
absolutely, absolutely, definitely agree with that. Now, oh man, thank you for sharing this. I didn't know this side about you, but
Oh
I'm
yeah,
happy I
definitely,
asked you this.
man.
And this movie, man, let me tell you, I was in university. I studied, well, my university was between 2007 and 2011.
Yeah,
Around 2000, end of 2018, sorry, end of 2010, beginning of 2011, I honestly had kind of like my rebellious moment. I
right.
was at that time, I'm like, something's wrong out in this world. I want to figure things out. I kind of like physically, I mentally, I'm like, I'm going to remove everything I know, everything I was taught. I'm just going to like delete that. Like I'm
Yeah,
picture delete button in my mind and boop, erase everything. And I'm going to start from scratch. I basically
yeah,
started from the big bang, doing my own research. I was going heavy, heavy on YouTube, watching lots of content. And at that time, they were putting contents on like content that were already existed, but they were like uploading it, re-uploading it on YouTube again. And yeah, it was so easy to make research. And again, just like you, I was a dreamer. I always looking for big ideas. For me, school is very hard, especially going in engineering. Out of all of
yeah,
things, very hard because I always think too big. And it's very hard for me to focus on the little gritty. But yeah, that helped me. And then in my research, I end up in this movie as well. But I took it more on the spiritual and it's a
yeah,
religious side because I understood it. I'm like, oh my god,
yeah.
man! This movie,
I
man,
mean,
you guys watch it. It's going to. But that's where I focused the more. I didn't really think about it in terms of investing, but
yeah,
at the time, I was also very interested in Tesla. I didn't know how to trade. I didn't even know what a stock was. I didn't know anything. The only thing I knew that hey, some people they invest in the stock market to retire. Like that's all I knew
yeah,
because I had a course in when I was 19 years old that taught me about that. So that's all I knew. I'm like, okay, when I'm old, I'll do it too. But I didn't know anything about like you can own part of Tesla. I didn't know about that,
yeah,
but I knew all about the technology part, what they were doing, and I didn't know anything about marketing back then, but I knew that what they were doing would have catch a lot of people's attention, and that would have been a great marketing campaign that could work because there was other electric cars projects before they fell. One of the things is the design is bad, so you can't really market that, and then the technology is not really efficient for it. But when you have the great design, great technology behind it, that's all you need. It's gonna fly. And I knew Tesla was going. So I was in forums talking to people who own the Roadster. I was joining a networking event where I can even test drive the Roadster. Like I was
wow.
one of the very few ones in Montreal who even test drove one. I had
Oh
to.
my God.
Oh man, like I was deep. I was deep in Tesla, man. I was obsessed,
Oh my
but I
God.
never
That's
owned any stocks until
dude.
2015, my friend. Like let
Oh
me tell you this:
man.
when they went public, I'm like, okay, so okay, they're going to the stock market. Okay, that's interesting. But I didn't even think about like, okay, can I make money
Oh
off
my
that?
God.
But you, man, but in
Oh man.
2015, let me tell you what happened. My job asked me, do I want stock option? And I'm like, no, I want cash. And after I was like, what is a stock option? And I went
Oh
there
gee.
and I went there and I started looking. And then when I realized you could earn part of a company, I was like, no, really? I
Oh
went and
dude.
I went and became obsessed with stocks and obsessed with options. And that was also how I started my financial journey. The first stock I ever bought was Tesla. And also, I was doing sometimes there is on the stock market, there is a virtual platform you can have that gives you fake money to invest in the real
Yeah.
market.
Paper
Yeah, I was
trading.
Yeah, I was doing that as well with Tesla, and then in one day I turned 10,000 into 55,000 in Tesla because again I knew the technology, I knew what they were going to announce, I knew, so I put myself in a position with options, and then as soon as they made the announcement, 55. But if I had the real money, I would have done it, but I didn't.
Yeah, yeah.
But anyway,
Oh my
man,
God.
there's a lot of things I regret. That's definitely one of them because I knew so much about Tesla that I was almost an insider. Like, because
Wow.
I would talk to this engineer, he would tell me something, then I would talk to another engineer, he would tell me something else. I puzzle it together, form a big picture, and I see exactly where they're going. So, uh,
That was something, man. Like it's but the good news is that opportunities that are coming are going to be even bigger. That's the thing.
mm,
A lot of it, we tend to say, "Oh man, we missed the Bitcoin boat. We missed the Tesla boat." But the truth is that there are other boats. I would say they're not boats anymore. They are spaceships. They are the. I'm telling
rocket.
you, like quantum computing is, I can say stuff, and people even today will say, "Okay, no, he's out of this world." Uh, Look, there are ways. If I ca- if I
Go
would
ahead.
tell GC, there are ways where you can reach Alpha Centauri before you reach the moon with through quantum tech. Would you say that it's possible? The thing is
Mm,
that any body, any physical body in space, that includes a planet,
mm,
that body, its mass, what it does create, if you want, a a small bending of space and time. The fact that there is a mass, there's a body mass that is occupying a space in the vacuum of the universe changes the time and the space flow of that entire vacuum that is formed in the universe, a vacuum that is mostly filled out of, if you want, the particles, the light particles that are beaming away from supernovas, so dying stars. So
mm.
that's why we have the radiation. Radiation are these particles of light going through, I would say, any physical body. So it can go through your body, my body, alter our DNA, and catch our bones and things like that. That's why if you are too much exposed to radiation, you can develop some forms of cancers and stuff.
Mhm.
We're protected with the the magnetic
Right.
field of the earth. But if you do, like, if you spacewalk out there on the moon, on the astronaut, where there's no protection against radiation, if you stay too long, you're gonna end up genetically altered completely if you stay too long. These are things that you have to really, you have to kind of deep dive into that. But
Of
there
course.
is a possibility to create artificial black holes from which you get in, and the exit is at a point through quantum tunneling, and you can map your point. You see that thing in Avengers
Yeah,
Endgame,
in Star Trek,
Tony
they
Stark
do it all the
gets it.
time. Star
That
Wars.
thing
Yeah, I
exists, man.
agree.
NASA's working on that right now, but you
Of course,
really
of
have to
course.
dig deep. But it exists through quantum, and quantum computers are going to help create it. Quantum computers are going to be the
So
GPS of that
let,
thing.
let me summarize it because we're getting very technical in the quantum
Yeah,
physics here. Let me summarize it a little bit. So basically, what he's saying is he mentioned D Wave, right? So D
yeah,
Wave is definitely one of the first companies in the world who actually successfully created a quantum computer. Now, what is
yeah,
quantum computer? If you want to think about it very easy, just think of it as physics. Physics is saying, hey, you have gravity, there are certain laws of physics that you can't really go behind. But quantum is kind of beyond what we know as the physics. Actually, in the quantum, there's a law that says a body can exist in two places at the same time,
yeah,
right? So just that law alone, we program a computer to understand that, hey, you can exist in two places at the same time, and then there become operations that are faster, that are more efficient, that are a lot faster than what we currently are using with the physics that we all know. So our computer right now, it's based on the physics that we all know, but the quantum computer does an extra calculation applying a theoretical value that, hey, you can exist in two places at the same time. There is also a bunch of other laws in quantum physics that I'm not going to go too deep
yeah,
into it, Jay mentioned another one, but all that makes it super fast. I'll give you an example. They say cryptocurrencies is one of the safest platform that is decentralized. With quantum computing, you can break through any crypto, including Bitcoin, in like half a day. So just to be generous, it could be even 10 minutes. So,
Yeah.
so as I'm invested in crypto 100%, that is something back in my mind that I need to and I'm evaluating the threat of quantum computers, and I'm also deleveraging myself
Yeah.
from from my crypto assets because
Hopefully, it doesn't
I'm
end up in the wrong
99.6
hands.
percent. I'm 99.6% invested in crypto right now. So
Yeah.
quantum computing can put me out of business really quick. But that's basically it, guys. If quantum computing is going to be the technology of this century, but it's all going to start from what we already have, the internet. Now we're going in the
AI,
metaverse, right? Quantum
super AI.
computing will
Yeah.
be facilitating that very well, including when you mix, we call it the singularity point. We're going to mix AI, you're going to mix augmented reality, you're going to mix virtual reality. All that together will be you will end up be using quantum computers, and we already have it. We already have it. Just like in the 1970s or 50s, you needed like $1 million and you needed a whole warehouse to make a small operation in your as in a computer. It's the same way we are now with quantum computing, where you need a big storage space to have like a we have that, but they slowly making it smaller, slowly making it smaller until you're going to have one day one company will create it. Mark my word, it might be Microsoft, it might be someone else, but they will have the personal quantum computing laptop or desktop, and that will that will be another $1 trillion company
Oh
right
yeah.
there. But
I think we're gonna have to be educated on how to use a quantum computer
of
because
course,
you're gonna just you'll only see one button and you're gonna talk to something like, okay, what do you want? What do you mean? What do I want? Oh yeah, I think according to your facial expression, you're thinking about this and this, and you're gonna say, okay, this thing is reading my mind. I'm returning it back. Bye bye.
but
That's how powerful quantum computers are gonna be. You know.
but that's a little bit I would say around 2030, that's when it's going to be more in the mainstream, and then 2040, that's definitely going in the mainstream. If you want to be ahead, go ahead now. But now there are things that are way closer, easy to grasp right there. They're about to blow up that we
Yeah.
can leverage right now, especially if you're starting, you want to use those momentum as well.
Yeah.
So we're going to start talking about that, and let me introduce to you guys someone that definitely makes it super easy for, we call it the retailer investors, people like us with our income from our jobs that can go in the stock market and invest. Now people like that, they're making it super easy for us to understand and participate in innovation. Cathie Woods, guys, definitely thank you. And I want to give a couple of shout out. I
I thought
see
she
I
was
see
gonna
Aaron.
come in your try. I was like, oh my god, is she really gonna bring in Cathie?
No, no, I'm
Like,
not
oh,
bringing
I
Kathy, but
was saying, man,
I'm
I
bringing
didn't
her
have the
profile so
suit.
we can understand what she does. So if you don't know what
Yeah.
Kathy Woods does,
Oh,
she's the founder of Ark Invest, and yeah, she's a rock star picker and founder at the 60 billion asset Ark company, Ark Invest, which invests in innovation like self-driving car and genomics. So she's really into innovation. She tracks the progress of innovation, she makes it available to the public. And that's another big shout out I have for her. Because let me tell you this, guys, there is a lot of people, the rich people, what they do, they enjoyed their time. All right. Let me put it closer to you guys. What the rich people do, guys. They enjoy their time. All right, but they don't want to do the research to increase their wealth. So what they do, they hire firms, they hire other people to go and make those research. And these people have full-time jobs studying the market, seeing what's going on, and calculate the growth, the rate of growth in the future. And then they provide this information to the rich. And these rich people, they go with $1 million, they invest early, very early, either in a startup company, they get private equity before they go ICO, and then when they go ICO, they 40, 50x their already $1 million portfolio, right? So that's what these rich people do, and they can hire someone like her, for example, like Cathie Wood, or any other person with this experience to make this research. Now, even Kathy Woods is a big fan of innovation. That's her specialty. But even in the terms of a hedge fund manager, she's innovative. She is innovative with ARK Invest. And how she does that, she makes the information available to the public, which is before her, no one ever did that on Wall Street. Before her, you couldn't find information like that very easy. You had to pay. Like, as a, I did my startup. I wanted to do market research on the rideshare industry. I had to pay $5,000 for a document that explained me the next 10 years in the rideshare industry, right? Eventually, I found ways to get it for free, but like if I was going the legit way, or like that would have had to pay $5,000 just for one document, right? In every document was at least $5,000. So, guys, this information that she provide, do not take it for granted, guys. Do not take it for granted, because she's innovative. She provides the information for retailer investors like us to access, to study, and then using that as a way to promote herself, getting more attention, even go on YouTube, do Q&As, answer questions, giving a perspective every month on the macro economy and what she thinks is going to happen. Very innovative in itself. And yes, guys, I would definitely encourage you to check her TED Talk, where she talks about innovation. That will definitely motivate you guys to invest in tech top. So that's who Cathie Wood is, I know Jay's in love with Cathie Wood. So why
Oh
do you
man,
like Cathie Wood so much, Jay?
dude, I'm telling you, when I saw, how I discovered Cathie Wood is when I was starting to invest in Tesla. When you invest in Tesla, it was right before the split. So when they announced the split, they say, "Oh man, getting the stock right now is gonna split, and then you're gonna have all like the Robin Hooders. They're gonna buy the split shares." So me, I
Mm-hmm.
wanted to buy the original share
Mm-hmm.
before the split, and I got in, on time before the split, but uh, the among those YouTubers that were talking a lot about Tesla, very bullish about Tesla, was this guy. You probably know him, Stephen Mark Ryan from Solving the Money Problem, and
Okay.
he was quoting Tasha Keeney, an analyst from ARK Invest, that specializes in autonomy. So when he brought in the number, he's a big bull. So shout out to Steve. By the way, I'm one of his patrons, because he's a guy that his information has really helped me in my investment strategy with Tesla. But I would say that when I got into the ARK Invest website, I was the one that had an erection, and not because of Cathie, but because of the information that I saw. But you go and you watch the ARK Invest and the way they display the information and the argument, the case they make about their investment strategy, and you will be sold. You will be sold. You will be convinced and say, you know what, that's the way to go. That is
Mm.
the way to go. And the accuracy that she had, the calls on Tesla, was Tesla ended up being even higher. So she ended up not being bullish enough in her price targets, in her first price targets for Tesla. The case she makes for Tesla, she sees Tesla as a company, just their autonomy
Yeah.
and their manufacturing, their 3D printing, and all that will make it a company in the trillions. When
Mhm.
she was on the CNBC panels and the Yahoo Finance panels talking about where Tesla's going to be, Tesla that's going to take over, Tesla that's going to lead, Tesla that's going to have the lion's share of the EV cars, she was laughed at. People laughed at her, saying that, okay,
Let-
well, here,
I want to add a point on that, but
yeah,
let me know when you. Let me
yeah.
just
Go
say,
ahead,
it.
go ahead, go ahead,
Let
go
me
ahead.
just say, it, guys. Yo, I was pissed that day. I was pissed that day, and I wasn't pissed at the people laughing at her. I was pissed at her. You know why? Because I knew what Tesla was worth. I knew
Yeah,
what Tesla could have been, and I knew she was undervaluing Tesla. I made a
Yeah.
bet with one of my friend that Tesla could be a $1 trillion company easy and surpass Apple. I made that bet. So I actually made a bet that Tesla could be twice the value of Apple. Now
Yeah.
that's a huge bet because
Oh
Apple
yeah.
is already like it's pretty much $1 trillion company, right?
Yeah.
I made a bet that Tesla could be 2 trillion. So again, when she made that call live on CNBC, that's when I first find out about her. I was a hater, man. I was a Cathie Wood hater. You know why? Because I was buying Tesla stocks. I was late to the party. I knew about Tesla since 2008. I was trying
Oh
to
my
catch
god.
up. And then she's putting it out there that Tesla is going to be worth this much. I'm like, man, the price
Oh
is
man.
going to blow up. I'm not going to have a big enough portfolio, man. And
Oh
then,
my
but
god.
when people started laughing at her, I was happy. I was like,
Yeah.
thank you. No one is seeing the opportunity out
Oh
there.
no.
I'm going to go deep on Tesla.
Because Tesla is a stock that the traditional Wall Street guys, they have, if you want, a 20th century evaluation model based on the units sold, and
Financial
the
statement.
earnings per, earnings per share ratio, that type of stuff. They see Tesla, oh, they are bleeding money, and they can't bring in a profit, and their products, some of their cars are catching fire, and
Mm.
eventually, that honeymoon they have with, California startup, honeymoon, the charm, like the star shine is going to run out, and
Yeah.
Elon Musk will run out of money, is going to have to be bailed out. And eventually, when Tesla was had the loan from the government, this is when Wall Street said, you know what, they're dead, they're
Yeah.
good as dead. Remember Tesla,
They were
remember,
shorting it, man. They were shorting it
they were
big.
shorting. The short interest was high. I remember
Yeah.
Jim Cramer on Tesla's IPO. He said, "Listen, run with it. Run with the ride the excitement, but Tesla's not a keeper. Sell the stock as
Yeah.
soon as you
Yeah.
can." Now,
Yeah.
Jim is one of Tesla's biggest bull right now.
Cheerleader, man. Cheerleader,
you
guys.
know,
You
so
guys, man.
Tesla has been, if you want, a love story so far. And Tesla is it's Tesla that actually got me to ARK Invest. So and ARK Invest got me, opened my eyes for genomics and
Mm.
also other start, especially AI. Looked at their innovation platform and also space exploration stocks. They
Okay,
invest in
good.
they have that ETF, and yeah, definitely ARK Invest is, if you want to invest in innovation but you don't know which one to pick, just buy the fund. You're not going to lose with that.
Yeah, go
That's
with
what, in
the
my opinion.
ARK Invest ETF fund, and then you
Yeah,
can. That's a nice way to set up in innovation because
yeah,
innovation is going to go, and we're gonna look into that. Now, if you have any question, guys, please type it in the comment. Whether it's a stock you're interested in or even cryptos, because that's part of innovation as well. We're gonna touch into that as well. But I'm going to show you guys a trick. All right, a trick that I've used myself, but how Cathie Woods makes it even way easier for you guys. And we're going to analyze a document that she released this year to help you understand why you should be invested in innovation and why innovation can help you reach your financial goal way faster than the traditional way of investing. Now, if you find a stocks like this that can also pay dividend, cash flow value investing, guys, we talk about it all the time. Make money now, make money in the future with appreciation. You're good as well. But I'm gonna show you this trick right here. And again, if you have any questions, I want to hear them in the comment section. Now, this document right here, all right, this is something you can go on our website and you can enter your emails. They will give it to you. It's free,
yeah,
right? It is free, and I'm telling you guys, don't take it for granted. Do not take this for granted because in some places you can have to pay anywhere from $5,000 to $10,000 for documents that are not even as good as this one. Not even as good as this one, and you're gonna have to pay $10,000 for it. So do not take this information for granted. This is what the rich people do. They get the knowledge 10 years before it happens by documents like this, and
yeah,
then they invest heavy for 10 years. built a massive amount of portfolio in that time. And when the mass wakes up to it, finally buys it, makes the stock go boom, that's when they make all of the money and they exit the market at that time,
Exactly.
selling it to the mass after they make like 10x, 100x on their money. And we're talking about millions and millions of
The
dollars. So,
mass buys it from the rich who are selling it back to them. They're buying it from the rich who invested it 10 years earlier while the mass was asleep. So ARK Invest is changing that trend right now.
of course, and a couple of shout outs. Shout out to Andy, he said that he will be looking and digging more into quantum tech.
You won't be
And thank you
disappointed,
for,
Andy.
yes, yes. Thank you, Jay, for putting it out there. Jay Bones, shout out to you. Excellent job, JC. Thank you very much. Aaron saying no cap. Thank you, guys. Thank you very much for your support. And if you haven't done so already, give some likes. Uh, Jay Bones, Jay, good job so far. Wonderful delivery. Yes, this guy, man, is the founder of the Black Traders Club. If you guys want to join as well, it's not just a Montreal club; it's a club for anywhere in North America. So you can join his Facebook group, the Black Traders Club. We share a lot of information, and he talks a lot about Cathie and his group and any new ideas and any news that's happening. You can see that he's wearing, he's even wearing the sweater. Ark Invest. This guy is the real deal when it comes to innovation investing. And you can put it back earlier. You can hear his story of on how he got to investing in innovation, and he's almost retired just from
Almost,
investing
man.
in innovation. Should you be
Yeah.
invested in innovation? Absolutely, because it can get you to retire, and we'll see this with this document right here. So shout out to you, J Bones. Thank you again for your compliment. Good delivery so far, Jay. It's talking to you, Jay. And
Thank you, man.
yes, let's say another shout out. American loves to copy the British. This guy's British. Aaron. Well, we know we gotta take our inspiration somewhere, right?
Of course.
Another shout out. Great, keep it up, Pascal. Shout out to you. I haven't seen you in the group before. Hey, type a comment. How did you find us? Either Discord, Facebook, YouTube recommendation. Let me know in the chat. I would like to know. I'm very curious. And yes, Jibun again, you're absolutely right. Spread the information. Get brothers on your game. Yes, guys, get it on your
Absolutely,
game.
man.
If you do it
Absolutely.
early enough, you can enjoy. This guy's almost retiring. He's not even 40 yet. He looks like he's 25. So man, like so this is where you want to be in your life. This is exactly where you want to be in your life. So you have all the energy and the wealth as well to support your goals, to support your dreams. So get on it, guys. Get on it. So with that said, guys, let's go in the nitty gritty aspect of it. Um, Big ideas for 2021. Next year, I'm pretty sure she'll release the big idea 2022. And look at this, guys. She's talking about deep learning. That is straight AI. All right. A reinvention of data centers, virtual world, digital wallets. So that's basically the crypto world right here. EV, electrical vehicle, and so on. This is a document like orbital airspace, 3D printing, like genomics is in there as well, multi-cancer screening. So these are all topics where you guys can go ahead and learn from. And again, this is what I do. This is what I do, guys. All right. I look at the big picture before I look at any stocks. Before I do look at any stocks, I look at the big picture and I understand the trend. I need information that's going to give me a better picture and accurate picture of where the trend is going. And the fact that she's putting this information out there for free, people, this is valuable beyond anything you can imagine, because now that you understand the bigger picture, you can go and select a stocks when it's cheap, when most people don't even know about it, and then wait for the market to catch on it, and then do it exactly like the rich are doing it. The same game. Shout out to you again, J Bones. You were talking about give them the game, the same game that the rich people are playing, maintaining their wealth, multiplying their wealth. They're multiplying their wealth so fast that and inflation can never affect them. Even we're talking about like 200 years of inflation can never affect them, because they use information like that to multiply their portfolio tenfold. hundredfold sometimes. So guys, get on the game. And again, I won't read this entire document because again, well, we'll be here for a while. I just want to show you where you can find it. And if you're talking about investing in innovation, she doesn't give any stock recommendation in this document. But guys, there's not that many company that are using this. And on YouTube now, you can make a research on, hey, AI companies. And that's the thing. If you know AI is going to do well, then you can start a watch list of companies that are investing in AI and then invest in all of them. Or maybe you want to choose your best three or best your top one and invest in that. When the trend is going up, everything in that sector will be going up as well. This is exactly what I was talking about. And the trick that I didn't do enough, I didn't do it fast enough, which cost me over 400,000 on Shiba. The trend was, again, let me put it back. Let me put it, guys. Let me look at you in the eyes while I'm saying this. What was the trend? What was the trend? The trend was Doge. Doge meme coins. Everyone was investing in memes. Doge started blowing up. A month later, people were looking at new investment they could do on the same sector. You went Shiba. Shiba is a Doge is a meme coin that was talking about dogs, right? But they also have real people that can create data. They can create value into the platform. So you had the added benefit of a community and developers that can create value. So that made Shiba blow up like crazy, and that's how I knew that Shiba was gonna blow up. But it took me 3 weeks to decide to invest in it. And that 3 weeks cost me $400,000. So I'm still up on my Shiba. I checked this morning, and I'm still up over 40,000 despite the dip. All right, so I'm doing good, but I could have done so much better, guys. So do not make this mistake. Learn from my mistakes, and this is one of them. You can go invest in innovation. You can go find the information like this, and then anything in the sector will be blowing up as well. All right. So keep that in mind. Let's go into it, guys. Deep learning. She always have a nice summary. No many like she. We're not talking about a lot of text out there. Just like simple information you can grasp. According to ARC research, deep learning will add a 30 trillion to global equity market capitalization during the next 15 to 20 years. Guys, 15 to 20 years, $30 trillion. Your question should be, how do you get a piece of that $30 trillion? That's the first question you need to ask, right? But you know the information coming from a professional hedge fund manager, though someone who's paid to do research on trends, someone who's specialized in understanding the value of innovation before they get there. And she's telling you that, hey, this branch alone will add another $30 trillion in the global equity, right? So again, guys, this is how you should look into investing. And then she gives you more information. Deep learning software 2.0. So what is the problem? What is the solution? You can go and school, basically learn more about it. And even after this application, you can go and make more research about it. But at least that's a great way to start. She's showing you, hey, how's our social media are using AI to grow and the rate of growth, depending on like more with better information, with better technology, they're getting way more efficient at growing and becoming more viral. That's what TikTok is doing, the latest AI innovator on social media. But again, guys, she gives you more information. She gives you her projections. And I love this chart right here, kind of like estimate where it's going to be depending on cost per train. But deep learning, guys, again, you can go through it, and she has more information. Some of the things she does, if you look at the bottom here, let me show you guys. If you look at the bottom here, she has a, CAGR. Basically, sometimes she will mention CAGR in the document, and that basically means compound annual growth rate. So let's say the growth rate in this sector could be, I don't know, I don't know if she mentioned it here, but let's say, for example, it's 30%, right? So if it's 30%, it doesn't mean that it will grow 30% from from the money you invested. It means that, hey, if you invested $1,000, next year you're going to have $1,000, 1,300 basically, and then it's another 30% of that number, right? Of the $1,300, what is 30% of that? And that's the next growth. So that's the compound added factor, which creates an exponential growth in your portfolio, just like it does an exponential growth in the market. I think she gives you an example right here. Total AI chip market, 50% CAGR. Again, compound annual growth rate, 50%. This is a huge growth rate just on the total AI chip market alone. So again, what does that can tell you? Hey, what are companies out there that are creating chips specific for AI? That could be a question you ask yourself. You go do that research, and then you put yourself in a position where you can leverage that and make some money out of it. So again, guys, let me know if you have any question, if that makes any sense to you, if that's clear, if you want me to elaborate more. But this is a perfect example of how you can use information, especially when they're this detailed, when they're this nicely put together, and put that in your advantage and go from there. Now, before we go on the next topic, I wanted to ask Jay, do you have what's your thought on that right now? Oh, sorry.
Very, very simple scenario. Oh, do you hear me?
Yeah, I hear
Awesome.
you.
Very simple scenario. I'm gonna touch. I'm gonna speak in a language that most people can understand, especially in our community. Let me ask you a question, GC. Are you gonna be alive in 10 years?
I maybe not.
I
But
would
let's
say most
I like
likely
to
yes.
I like to assume that I will be.
Okay, so most likely, most of us will still be alive in 10 years. I mean, for the past 40 years, 40 years, we're still alive. So more chances that we're alive than dead. We're not. If we die, it's not going to be because we're too old. At least that
Exactly.
that is solved.
I
So
like to say we have to focus on what we can control. We can't control on where, I mean, unless we do it like ourselves, but we can't really control that. So we just have to control and make as much money as possible while we're alive and go
exactly.
from there.
But we do make plans for the next 10 years, at least, right?
Exactly.
So let me ask you this: in 10 years, will your smart is it is it can we assume that your smartphone in 10 years will be at least 5 times more powerful than your smartphone you have right now?
I not only 5 times more powerful. I think by that time we might not even use a smartphone anymore.
It's
We
going
might
to
have
be
it all
something
in
even
our.
more powerful,
It might
right?
be our glass or something.
Exactly. But the computing power will be exponentially more powerful, right?
Of course, I think the computing power will put us to Mars.
Exactly. So, in your opinion, what will power that innovation? That what will be the driving force behind that progress?
Mm. Um,
The
that's
innovation
a good
behind
question.
the computing power increase.
Well, it could be many things actually. It could be, for example, let's say Elon Musk is pushing to go to Mars. That creates a lot of technology, and then they realize that that technology can be applied in different industries, like
Right.
consumer products. And then it usually takes to 15 to 20 years. Like like people in the army, they may find something a technology like GPS, for example, and then 15, 20 years later, it becomes available in consumer product. So it
Exactly.
will be something like that, right?
But in electronics, like consumable electronics, like smartphones, smart glasses, smart devices, the computing power is going to be much, much exponentially higher. And what will drive that will not be humans, will be AI. At this
Mm,
point, only machines, only computers can improve computers. Human cannot compute. At computers have reached a point where only a computer can improve a computer. A human in the lab can no longer improve a computer. So it's probably going to be a quantum computer improving classical computers, because I still think classical computers are going to be around
mhm,
for a long time. But the driving force behind the super AI that will improve these computer chips are going to be backed by quantum. They're going to be powered by quantum. So, as a smart investor, knowing that, what you do is that you invest in the common denominator that will drive the innovation. So, cars in 10 years are going to be autonomous. Smartphones are definitely going to connect in the chip in your brain, Neuralink, and the Internet of Everything with Starlink and 5G. Everything will be connected, and we're probably going to connect with several commercial space station that is going to be movie sets, or they're going to be space labs. They're going to study the matter in zero gravity environment, and we're going to have probably the beginning of what we call life, the creation of life supporting system. Probably just going to be Tesla bots on Mars, but there's
Mhm.
going to be the creation, the beginning of a creation of the beginning of a multiplanetary species era in 10 years. So the innovation, what will drive that? These platforms are already right now in the reports that you brought out as on ARK Invest. So looking at this report is looking at a crystal ball of the future. As simple as that. You read, you have access to the same quality, if not better, of the information that the rich have access. The rich of today, when he's asking himself, well, what will make me richer in 10 years? He's looking at the same report that GC just brought up. And it's like, oh, okay, deep learning, AI, I'm putting my money in that. Which are the stocks of deep learning and AI? So either I'm going to ask my analyst to pick up the stocks to do stock pickings, or I'm just going to invest in the ETF. And it's all available to retail investors like us. And with that information, the community needs to know if we want to position ourselves and be the people who make big bucks in 10 years, then that information needs to be spread out and available in the community right now today. So our my duty is to, through my group and my social media channels, to distribute that information and say, hey, this is where the future is at. This is where you're making plans for the next 10 years. In 10 years, oh, I'm going to have my business, I'm going to have this, I'm going to have that. Well, think about investment, because in 10 years, your investment you use today will make a difference into whether these dreams realizes themselves or not. So secure your a very, very good position, early position. So in 10 years, you can brag and be perceived as a financial genius because you made moves today. So yeah,
Abs-
that's my opinion about that.
Absolutely, guys. Absolutely. And again, guys, that's the process. If look at the crystal ball of the future, it used to take a lot of skills. Me, I'm not. I'm gonna brag a little bit about that. Um, I'm not good at many things, but there is one thing I'm good at. Is I learned, and I didn't know about this until recently, but I figured out how my brain works. Right? I can't create anything from scratch. I'm very bad at this. But what I can do is I can create things from, I can create something new from taking a lot of different things that are already created, mix it together in a way that haven't been taught before. I'm very good at that. The first patent I ever created was because of that. I took a breaker that was already created, I mixed it with a computer. No one ever did that before, and I added two inputs instead of one. Right? I was trying to create something that Elon Musk didn't create yet, so that hopefully he could buy my company, and then
Oh
I could
yeah,
create.
smart move.
Yes, yes. I was, and I'll show up. I'll bring a picture of you guys to show you a
Nice.
illustration
I'd love to see it.
of my patent one day, and how about what I was working on. It's basically, I noticed Elon Musk in 2014 he was already thinking about um, the battery pack that he sells in his home, the
Yep.
solar panel. I'm like, okay, he has the battery, he has the solar, he needs something in between to make the link,
Right.
right? Smart breaker. I'm gonna work on that.
Oh yeah,
so,
yeah. I think
so
this is what he has. Like it's called like the auto bidder software in his mega
yeah, now he
packs.
does, eh? But
He does it.
2016, man, I was
He
I
did
was
not.
thinking about it. I'm
All
like,
right.
that's it. I'm going to work on that. But guys, that's the thing. You look into the future and you try to put, but sometimes it's very hard. It's a skill. It's a skill to be able to see what's going to be needed in the future. And some people have it, some people are not. But with someone like this, Cathie Woods, that is making available that is making information available, this document It is a must read. I'll leave a link in the description of after I post this, either on this comment or the description of the video. Check it out. You can enter your email, get a PDF of this. In my Discord, I added this PDF already, and then we can talk about it. But guys, go through this document. Choose a sector that you like. All right, choose a sector that you like. It could be EV, it could be virtual reality, it could be anything, right? And talking about EV, let's look into what she's saying for EV, because I know you're deep in Tesla. I am deep in Tesla as well. So and it's not just EV, but there is also not autonomous ride hailing,
Yep.
right? So let's look at what she's expecting to see in these two sectors. Let's very quick, right? Let me put it here for you guys. So EV sales should accelerate significantly, right? Based and you can go make your own research what is right law, but it's saying ARC forecast that EV sales should increase roughly 20-fold. You know what 20-fold means? That is 20 times what is currently being done in 2021. So the world is definitely going EV, and which company is at the forefront of that? Tesla. So is Tesla a good investment? Is it too late to come in because you saw that the price is going high? Well, according to this document, well, Tesla may not be necessarily uh, too late to get in Tesla, because for the next basically on what she's saying is in 2020 on unit, in 2025 you're going to see a lot of sales in EV. So in 2021 we're heading to in 2022, we still have some times, right? And she showed you more and more information, breaks down on what it is: gas powered, electrics, giving you some information year over year. You see that in 2020, the gas powered sales went down 15%, while the increase in electric went up. That's crazy. That's crazy right there. So that shows you a trend, right? Now, the next thing you should do next year, when she release another document like that, I bet she will talk about electric vehicle as well. Try to find a similar graph. Try to find how this graph in 2021 changed. How did the gas power sales? And you don't even have to wait for her to release it. You can make that research on Google. What is the sales for the 2021 years for gas powered, right? If you notice there is a downtrend, and then you notice there is an uptrend on the electric cars, that is how you figure out where you go and invest, and you go from there, guys. You go from there. There is so many more information that you can read through, especially when you're talking about the declining in battery costs, which will make the cost overall of the car cheaper to make, more revenue margin, cheaper also to own, right? Cheaper to own, which will incite more people to do it. Now everyone can plug their car in, and that will encourage people to be more, like basically more conscious about green energy, which is basically the trend right now. That's the trend. Biden is definitely encouraging that. So that is more in the conscious of the people. Again, more information are provided. You can scroll to this document very easy, and understand, try to grasp the data, and also join a community and ask questions if you're stuck, if it's something that you want to understand better. Definitely, I think the Black Traders Club is a great community for that, where you can basically take a screenshot of this document, post it in there, ask your questions, and you will find people to help you answer it. And look at this, guys. The CAGR for growth electric vehicle sales. CAGR, 82%. Again, what is CAGR? Right? Growth, compounded growth rate, annual compounded growth rate. That means
Mm.
if you put $1,000 next year, you have 1,000 and basically 1,800 and 1,820. That's basically what you have next year. But the year after, you're going to have to put the 1,820 and applied 82% profit on that number, not the initial $1,000 that you put it. You're gonna have to put the profit on the $1,820, which will be more, right? And the year after that is going to have another 82%. That's that number. So it's exponential growth, guys. This is exponential at its best, and that's how you make money in the market. Whether you do swing trading, whether you do long-term investing, whether you do day trading, if you choose, something, a sector that is about to blow, you're gonna have a lot of volatility. You can find a lot of entry points. You can stay there, and then long term you'll get there. But eventually, guys, it's definitely a better bet than not knowing anything, and you just put yourself in the market and stress. Right? Again, when there is a dip, you might want to sell at a loss because you're afraid of losing your money. But if you have information like that, in the long term, the trend is going up, you're more relaxed. You're actually like, what? I'm going to use this dip to buy more stocks. And that's how information like that can help you a lot, can help you save a lot of money. You want to chime in on that, Jay?
To add on your point, what a factor that I think Cathie has mentioned that, but Elon as well, Elon Musk,
Mm.
he said that what will stimulate the sale of autonomous vehicles? It might not just be Tesla. Eventually, other cars will be autonomous, but autonomous capable cars that are going to be part of a fleet of ride sharing services open to the public. People
Mm-hmm.
will buy their cars like investments. Owning an Uber will be an asset because it will be a moneymaker. So
Mm-hmm.
let's say you says, oh, you know what? Let me buy. I live near the airport. You know what? I'll buy two Model Ys. People that arrive from the airport. The airports are going to grow bigger. I don't know if you saw our airport is going to grow. Is going to 2x nearly its size. Like there are plans, and by 2024, you won't even recognize the airport, man. So,
Really?
and as soon as we're post pandemic, flights are going to be way cheaper. So people are going to travel even more, and people are not going to people can ride they can hail an Uber, but the cost is high. But an autonomous taxi, you don't have a driver to pay. It's going to be close to $1 per ride, or maybe $1.50. It won't be more than $3. So you're going to have a lot of these rides. So you have one car just doing the airport. And I know the airport routes are very lucrative because I used to do that a lot when I was Ubering. Uh, these routes are nonstop,
Mm.
and you have an autonomous electric car. You don't need to gas it. You don't need to, and the mileage with the new 4680 cells are probably going to double. You're probably going to have 1,000 miles autonomy. So you have a car just raking in money. So people are going to buy Teslas because they're going to be the first to solve autonomy, and they're going to launch their ride hailing platform. People are going to buy Teslas not because they need a car, but because they want assets, because these assets are going to be positive cash flow for them, at least for the first couple of years while the competition catches up, or they license Tesla's autonomous technology, which will bring more income, so better for the stocks, for the Tesla stock. So if I want an additional stream of income, I'm just gonna buy maybe three Model 3s or three Model Ys or a Model X, to have luxury ride hailing. So that I believe this is what this is in that perspective. That's the move that Hertz did when they
Mm.
ordered the 100,000 with an optional additional 100,000 cars. So that was just the element in terms of car sales,
Mm-hmm.
the sales of the car. The motive will be that people are going to buy cars to make money, not because they want to drive it. They're going to own cars as to operate. If you want a fleet of cars, that's going to bring in cash for them.
One
So
of the
whenever,
biggest liability you can have, well, first is, um, there is a debate whether it's a house, like a personal house, not a multi-unit, a personal house, whether it's an asset or liability. There is a debate on that. I have my own opinion about it.
yeah, I
But
think
hey,
it was started by Robert Kiyosaki.
yeah. But
Yeah,
hey, if what one thing we can agree on, prior to Tesla, a car was a liability. Why? Because again, shout out to the intentional millionaire for bringing this to the panel the other day. We had invited a millionaire that was sharing this information. He was saying, hey, the liabilities, the way he thinks about it is twofold. Hey, first, a car is, while you're paying money now, it takes money from you every month, whether it's you have to pay the car, or whether it's maintenance, right? Then over time the value of the car decreases, right? The value of the car decreases, therefore that's two ways that it's taking money out of your pocket. That's definitely your liability. Now tesla with tesla, um, Tesla has transformed the car from a liability into an asset. Now you may have the value of the car depreciate, but with the new technology they have out there with the batteries, I think they were talking about guaranteeing it until for a million
Yep, I
miles, right?
saw the million mile battery. People think
So,
it's going to be the 4680 cells, but definitely they're working on that.
so yeah, guys, yes, and let me. So that's definitely going to help reduce the drop on the value of the car, and on top of that, it's a car that is working 24/7 for you when you're not using it. Um, Guys, you can watch me on YouTube. When I first started on YouTube, I put myself, since the first day I was watching the Model 3 release, I put my money in and reserve it. Why? Not because I love the Model 3, because I knew what he was doing. I knew that car was going to serve as a way to grab as much data on the AI and increase the AI platform, and that was the initial step of the ride hailing. That information that you mentioned about you're gonna have the car. I also did a second startup. My second startup was in the rideshare industry. Once I realized this is really what Elon Musk was planning to destroy Uber and Lyft, I went out of the business. I'm like, you know what? Yeah, I give up. I'm not spending another year working on this, because eventually, even if I make money out of it, in 1 year, 2 years, a guy like Elon can put me out of business in 1 month. So
Yeah,
I just went there and started in a job market again. But before I start, I want to give a quick shout out to Jay Bones, showing a lot of love on the chat. Thank you, Aaron. Thank you, Jay Bones. Saying exactly, very true. JFK Airport is already setting up Tesla chargers. It's in the making in NY and Jersey. It's already good. Yeah, it's already good for to go to a future site. So again, very true, very true. Tesla chargers are being set up all around the country, everywhere. This has been happening for years, years. Yes, more love. Jay preach exactly. You're absolutely right. I think Jay owns Jay Bones. He owns Tesla too, so
oh yeah,
he's a huge Tesla fan. So now I'll
to
try
the
to
moon, bro, to the moon, man.
not find ways to make money on the stock, and as opposed not just your car but from the stocks too, so you can make money, multiple streams of income from Tesla alone, right?
Absolutely,
Again,
man.
she was saying that car is your liability, and saying a great stream so far, guys. Thank you very much. Oh, that is a very good point. Yes, you also you're getting a tax relief for having a Tesla.
Mm,
I got back, wow, 8,500 for tax relief just from having a Tesla, tax code on emission grade savings. Wow, wow, this
that's
is
definitely
crazy.
good.
This is the states are very pushing that in. I don't believe we
Yeah,
have that much in Canada, but we still have some tax benefit, not just tax,
yeah,
but also, well, first they reduce that on the off the price of the vehicle, so the vehicle
true.
becomes cheaper to own, and also, yes, you get the access to the HOV lanes. So it saves your time, and time is money. So you're saving money in
Absolutely,
some way. Um,
absolutely.
but yeah, very good points, guys. Good point. And thank you very much for being active on the chat. Thank you, Jay Zones, for showing love, and anyone else watching. If you have any more questions, guys, comments, anything you want to say, I love interacting with you guys straight live. So write it down, your questions, anything. Great show. Thank you very much. With that said, guys, yes, Pascal mentioned this. Hertz ordered 100,000 Tesla Model 3.
Yeah,
Wow. Wow. This is crazy, crazy,
a
crazy.
retail
Okay.
price, huh? No discount.
No discount, retail
Yeah,
price.
the bears were
Wow.
saying that they probably had a discount. Nope,
No,
retail
no.
price. They paid the price for that every consumer pays.
This is the
That's
real deal. Again,
yeah,
Pascal, let me know. Let me know in the chat. How did you find out? Was it on the Discord? A Discord channel? Did you find about this YouTube channel, or was it recommended in your YouTube channel? That's the first time I see you here. I'm very curious. Very curious. But thank you again for your point. Very great point right here. And again, what is what information do we have for the future of ride share, right? Autonomous ride hailing, right? Well, guess what, guys? Guess what? Cathie would also talk about that in her document as well. And look at this. She's talking about it. Autonomous ride hailing already in 2021. And you can see hard research suggests that autonomous ride hailing platform will generate more than 1 trillion in profit per year. Guys, guys, I want you to take a breath and just it's Pascal Leopold. What shout out to you, my friend Pascal Leopold. Hold up. I gotta give a special shout out to this guy. This guy, man, I went out of school. I started talking to him early on. He listened. He looked into way to generate more wealth, and he's doing very good for himself. I made a stream. It's a interview. I'm going to release this interview next week. I definitely tune in to this because there was a question I asked, and I believe you can benefit from this question a lot. But it's going to be about how to preserve your wealth with life insurance. It's a great stream, guys. There is a lot of knowledge that are being dropped that rich people are having, but we do not get access to this information. So what I went there and do, I went there and found a financial advisor that manage people's wealth. I'm talking about high net worth individual, people in the 9 and 10 figures in the type of assets and network they have, right? I went and find a financial advisor right in the old port here. The basically that's the financial hub of Montreal. And I brought him in the panel so that he could explain to you guys the game. He could explain to you guys how, like, even in real estate, if you invest in real estate, you may be doing great while you're alive, but whoever is going to inherit that real estate from you might have to pay a lot of tax if you don't set up your finances properly. So again, guys, tune in to that stream. It will be a pre-recorded video, but make sure you hit the like button, make sure you subscribe. And when that video is in, I want you guys to comment, to like, to share, because so many people need to understand this information. And it is definitely something that can preserve our wealth and help us build generational wealth. Help us build generational wealth. I have Jay Edmond here. He's the founder of Black Traders Club. Is all one of the things that is very big on is generational wealth in the community, every family needs to think about generational wealth. But when it comes to the black community, it is a necessity. If we do not do this, we will go extinct. And I have a nation background. In my country, it is definitely needed. So guys, again, when this video comes out, I need your help to share it, to like it, because the information that is shared in this video. The reason why I haven't dropped it yet is he spoke French in this video. So I'm basically doing the subtitle, translating the French into English so that you guys can understand it as well. Because I have people in the states. I want them to understand this. And go talk to your own financial advisor and seek that information. Make sure your finances are good so that your kids, your family, your friends can inherit that wealth from you and build on top of that, right? Generational wealth. Uh, but before I jump in, any word you want to mention quickly on that, Jay?
Absolutely, generational wealth, wealth creation, the instituting the culture of money, the changing the conversation about money. It starts with the curiosity. It starts with going out there and having conversation about investment and wealth creation. We don't need to know exactly what we're talking about. We can just have a brainstorm of ideas of what investment is. Oh, it's real estate. Oh, it's stocks. Oh, it's crypto. Oh, it's this, and just start these conversations in our hangouts. With the young ones, we do hangouts. We do these barbecues instead of talking about the things we usually talk about. Sports, culture, parties and all that stuff going on. Racism. Even though these things,
Mhm.
we're not out there to ignore them, but it's a tune we've been playing for the past 40 years. And at the difference maker, we live in a capitalist society. In a capitalist society, people respect capital. Capital is capital. If you can talk about all the issues you want, But eventually, what will make a difference, the difference maker, is when you have that capital. This is when people notices you. And there, if we want to, I have a saying that says, if you want the powerful to understand what you're saying when you're talking to them, you have to speak their language. And
Mm.
I'm not talking about English. I'm talking
Mhm.
about
You're talking
numbers.
about that picture you have behind you right there.
Exactly. You see that there you go. So
Yeah, yeah,
when
yeah. I
so
got you.
when we go out there and we protest and we say, well, we matter and stop discrimination and stop this, they hear us. They see us. Oh yeah, democracy is so beautiful. Look at all these people. They can protest and stuff for free.
Mhm.
So and then they have the right to do it. But when we have established, we know how to manage capital and we organize our capital to have these lobbies and these group of interests. And now we have capitals and we're talking in billions of dollars. Now they
Mhm.
pay attention to what we have to say because
Yeah,
whatever we choose to do will have an impact on them because
for
we
sure.
are playing at the big table now. So
Yes.
it starts by essentially having these money conversation, but more on the investment part,
Talk,
and the wealth creation part.
talking about big table, guys. I want you guys to take a breath. Think about this number, guys. It's not just the $1 trillion I want you to pay attention to. It's
Mm.
the $1 trillion in profit. That is the first thing I want you to think about. $1 trillion in profit. And then the second thing I want you to think about per year by 2030. Now, again, let's rewind it back. Let me put it bigger so that you guys can see my face. We are in 2021, almost ending the year, leading to 2022. Can you name me couple of company that are worth overall $1 trillion? I guess you could say Facebook. I guess you could say Apple. I guess you could say Tesla. Maybe Amazon, maybe Google. But do we have 10? We don't have 10 companies that are worth. I'm not talking about profit, guys. I'm talking about when you put everything they own
Market cap.
together, market cap that they own, they have, it becomes $1 trillion. Do you know how much $1 trillion is? It's only this year in 2020 and 2021 that we started even conceiving that a company could even be worth $1 trillion. 2 years ago, that was something that was unconceivable. Unconceivable. You could not even conceive one company could be worth $1 trillion.
Mm.
Now we have five, six ish companies that are worth close to it or very close to it or already in a $1 trillion. Now she's telling you, let me put it back, guys. Let me put it back for you. If you're not seeing this right, she's telling you again, autonomous ride hailing. Autonomous ride hailing. Arc research suggests that autonomous ride hailing platforms will generate more than $1 trillion in profit. That means when you factor the cost of what it took to create this product, you still have $1 trillion left in profit.
If I
And
if I can add to that, GC, the entire ecosystem of transportation is around $6 trillion. That includes transportation, public transportation, the metros, the buses, the logistics, boats, planes, everything, the entire thing, around $6 trillion globally.
you know what that means?
Autonomous.
That means if Amazon becomes a $6 trillion company, they can basically own the transportation in the world, no matter where it is.
Yeah,
Unless we're talking about rockets, they'll own it. Keep going. Sorry.
I asked someone. I says, if I tell you that metro, You see, when you go, you take the bus, then it leads you to a metro station.
Yeah, the
That
subway.
entire ecosystem, the subway, will be disrupted more brutally by autonomy than the taxi industry was disrupted by Uber. He
That is
laughed
so
at me.
true.
He says, how is that going to happen? I says,
That is
well,
so
I
true.
says, think of the student. Okay. It's late in the night. He wants to go out for a drink with his friends.
Mm,
He takes his smartphone, takes out the Tesla app, order orders a robo taxi, an autonomous robo taxi. The car comes, picks him up, drive him wherever he wants. He just has to pinpoint through the GPS's destination, and he drops him. The service is available 24/7, 365 years, 365
24
days a
7.
year, 24/7, for $1 per ride. Because it's a $99 subscription, and we travel around 3 times per day. Go to work, come back, and then do an activity and come back 3 to 4 times. So roughly around $1. The transportation system, as we know, you have to dress up. It's cold out there. You have to walk to the bus station. You wait for the bus. It's not your schedule, it's his schedule. And then you take the bus, you go to the metro, you go out, you walk, you sit. Maybe you have maybe if you're lucky, there's a free seat. If not, there's not. And
Stand
you
up.
have to
You stay
go to
stand
the
up
to,
in the
to the
cold.
station that is the closest one. And sometimes from that station you have to take another bus.
Mm,
So the total costs around $4, but it takes you maybe 6 times.
more.
It takes
More
probably
effort.
3 to 5 times longer. So how are you going to compete against that? Once you're going to have a fleet of autonomous robo taxis that's going to essentially bring people from point A to point B, which is what you do.
Guys,
When going to work in the robo taxi will be faster and cheaper than the public transit. How are you not going to become obsolete? How are you maintaining your business model? So you're going to force Tesla to pay a tax to keep you alive? That will never hold up in courts. Never. So, and now we're just talking about one city. Think about all the cities that has this very costly, massive, with big, lots of jobs, high paying jobs, union jobs, depends on that business model, that 20th century business model that's about to be disrupted and completely destroyed by AI. It's
that
going to
is
be brutal.
true.
It's going to be brutal. So
I did not think about this, man.
I'm telling you, and the guy looks at me like, do you work for Tesla? Says, no, I
That
don't.
is
I
so
just
true.
think for a second. Will you, for $1, you're paying a $99 subscription, for a robo taxi that is available 24/7 at the push of a button. The taxi comes, picks you up from your doorstep. You go into a car that's hot, you don't have to wear a mask. Not that I'm not anti-mask or things like that, but you enjoy privacy,
I
and
mean,
it's
if you
cheap,
have your wife or your girlfriend in the car, you
safe.
basically have a moving hotel.
Exactly. It's safe. So and well, yeah, you can do that, but I assume after a certain time they'll say, well, are you getting there or
Yeah.
but just the example, you just this is it's called, you're probably familiar with that. It's called first principles approach.
Mm,
At the end of the day, the user, the consumer wants to go from point A to point B.
mhm.
Okay. Now, the old way is that he has to walk, take a bus, do a correspondence, the metro, take another bus, and head there. It, very efficient, very green, doesn't use a personal car, but it doesn't, now he's using a personal car, but that car, it doesn't stay parked in his garage and not being used. This car is being shared,
Now
and it's an electric car.
let me add this another point on top of that. That
Yeah,
will also disrupt the whole business model of buying and owning a car. Because
exactly.
now there will only be investors and only be users.
Exactly. There you go. The
Not
middleman
people
is
who
out.
want to, not people who want to buy the car just to own a car and own a liability. It's either you invested early because now the prices will be double because either you get it
Gone.
from Tesla right away
Gone.
or you get it on the second hand market, which will add up a cost to it because now it's a business, right? Like
The
it's
only
a
way
rental.
the only way left to invest would be to buy a car and just grow the fleet.
Yeah,
So it
exactly.
can
So
even serve even more people.
build your
That would be
fleet
the only
now.
way.
Build your fleet now because when that thing comes out, you will not find a Tesla anywhere for sale. Or if you do,
Exactly.
the cost will be higher. And then it's either you're going to be an investor or you're going to be a user. You're going to have a
Exactly.
subscription model. You're going to use the car. Everyone's going to go in a Tesla. And man, and let me put it this, guys. Like, guys. $1 trillion per year in profit. Oh, you know
And
what
that's
that
only
does
for
to a
cars.
financial statement?
We're not even
And
talking about
and she was, she's doing a generic report. She could have replaced that word right here with Tesla. Let's be
yeah.
honest. Let let's be honest, guys. She could have replaced this. I mean, she's being, the SEC is being, is looking at her, making sure that she's doing everything right. She's not
yeah.
giving financial advice. She hasn't mentioned any stocks, any specific company. But let's be honest, guys. We're talking about innovation, investing innovation for your retirement. She could have replaced this word right here with Tesla. There is no company in AI or in the car industry that is even close to what Tesla is doing. I work in AI, and I'm telling you, the most valuable part of that equation is data. And the system that Tesla created to acquire data globally is unheard of in the industry. They have the most efficient system to acquire data in the world, in any AI company, in any AI project. They are doing two things with their data that is crucial to a neural network. They're acquiring the data and they're training the data. And not only that, they are using the user to correct and train the data. Meaning, you're not seeing it as you're driving your Tesla. Jay Bones here. Jay Bones has a Tesla. Jay Bones. I don't know if you knew or you didn't know this, but let me tell you. If you're listening to this, if you still listen, let me know in the chat. But Jay Bones, did you know if you're driving your Tesla, Tesla is running a simulation without you even knowing it? They're using their sensors that are already in the car. They're predicting where the road will be, and they're very accurate at this. Now, should the car make a mistake, you move the wheel to center yourself in the road, and that tells the AI, oh, I predicted this way, I was wrong. Here's Jay turning the wheel, showing me how I should have done it. It is saved. Now, times that with $1 million cars sold per year being driven all over the places. Times that with all the Tesla cars being driven all over the world. And I tell you guys, in AI, first you need to acquire the data, and you need second, train the data. This takes huge amount of time to train the AI one video or one picture after another. We're talking about acquiring millions, not pictures, videos from several cameras all at once being trained at the same time. I knew that in 2006, so it's 2016, when I
wow.
made my purchase. I told you, man, I was deep in Tesla. I was, but the knowledge I had in Tesla in 2012, 2014, this is what most people are knowing now in 2020. I knew that in 2016. I maxed out my credit card buying the Model 3 and reserving it the same day. As soon as he said, man, the car can do 250 miles, I'm like, man, whap that card, $1,000 reservation right there. But I told you, man, like, guys, this is the most innovative AI company in the world. Not only that, they have their own chip. They're not going through the manufacturing anymore. They're designing their own chip, which makes that process even faster. They customize their own chip to be able to handle all these cameras, to be able to train the AI model live on every car, uploading that to the cloud so that all the cars are being uploaded all at once. Now, if Jay's car, J Bones, if J Bones' car go travel this road once, and I own the car 5 months later, I go on the same road. My car knows exactly how to do this road because Jay's car went there and trained itself, and it automatically um it automatically update all the other ones. So guys, this is going to disrupt, as J Edmond said, many industries. Transportation. Tesla also have the Tesla truck using the same AI model.
It's gonna be brutal, man.
Oh Lord. Oh Lord. If you know a guy, a friend who is driving a truck, please, please send him this video. Tell him to subscribe. Join on Discord channel. Please, man. For his own sake. It's a matter of time. And when this hit, it will be a software update and it will take weeks. It will take weeks to put people out of business. Weeks. $1 trillion. Name me one industry that is worth $1 trillion. You can barely find any. Now you have one company that will do $1 trillion in profit per year by 2030. And you're asking me, is it a good time to invest in Tesla now, even when it's, I don't know. Look, I don't know. I don't know the future. Maybe I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. But right now, there is no other company that can achieve this other than Tesla. Right now. Unless there is a company doing it on the cloud, like no one knows about it, and then they will reveal themselves later. But right now, and knowing what I know about AI, that you need a lot of data, and they've been doing that for years since 2016 till now, training
The
their model.
the only companies that are going to be second to Tesla are not even Americans, they're Chinese. So they apparently, China is
Mhm.
the big boy out there where everybody's got to be careful. So why are you putting sticks in the wheels of the only company that can compete? Take Tesla out of the equation. The Chinese are in front in terms of the auto industry than North America and Europe. Neo, Xpeng, BYD are killing North American brands. The only company standing up to these three giants in China is Tesla. And Tesla has a factory. The only American or Western car builder that built its own car, fully integrated cars in China is Tesla. So think about it. Let that sink in. We say we want America to be competitive. Well, Tesla is saving the U.S. right now, and the Biden administration. It's not that I don't want to jump into politics here, but unfortunately,
Like, I don't mind
they.
you jumping there, man. I'll
But
jump it for
look,
you.
look, we got to call a spade a spade. I mean, you make an EV summit and the
You don't
clear
invite
EV
me.
leader is not invited. So is it more for EV or you trying to please your union friends? And not against unions, but unions are going to be disrupted too because unions are thriving on a 20th century model, which is the more people work, the more the better the union is financially and all that.
Mhm.
But eventually we're going to get paid to stay home just so we don't stand in the way because these machines are going to work so fast. You're going to come in the factory and it's going to be dangerous because if a machine hits you, the speed at which it's running, it can kill you. So you know
Actually,
what? Stay.
of course, man. Like Humans are forbidden to go to factories anymore for your own
Exactly.
safety, man.
It's for your own
Sheesh.
safety because these machines are choo, 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 and these are like heavy machines working fast. But the precisions of AI allows machine to work in that perfect harmony. It's going to be like a microorganism, a perfect, all controlled by AI. But the control will be so accurate that look at it, Amazon. Amazon is already doing it. You know, all their warehouses. You have all these machines finding these boxes where exactly the right box is for the right products for logistics. These machines are going to move faster because the faster
Hmm.
they move, the faster you can process your products, the faster you make money. So speed will be the incentive in
Hmm.
manufacturing. So for
Absolutely.
rapid manufacturing will mean that some machines are going to move fast on the factory floor. If humans are around, then you risk having an accident. Then the whole chain has to supply because the rescuers we have to go get the body somewhere, and then it disrupt the whole chain. It's like, you know what? No more peoples. We will pay you to stay home. We're making too much money right now. Make your salary. We don't even lose money paying you stay at home. So they'll pay us to stay at home, and so we'll be doing podcasts on the GC channel, and people are gonna tune in and listen.
Of course. And again, well, I want to give a couple of shout outs very quick. Um, yeah, JC, you're a legend. Thank you very much.
Yeah, you're a legend, man.
You said that you didn't know. Sorry, I missed that. What didn't you know exactly? Could you let me know in the chat? I can. I want to answer that if you want. And also, Andy saying that best live. This live will make me a millionaire within 5 years sooner. Yeah, absolutely,
Mhm.
man. Absolutely. This channel, this Discord, anything, man. We're earning anything that has to do with innovation, the trend. We know how big I am on that, Andy. So, and this guy is on the Discord too. Shout out to everyone on the Discord channel here as well. Shout out to you. And I want to show you guys this chart right here, right? So first of all, there's something here that says, "Hey, ARC assigns a 30% probability that Tesla will launch autonomous ride-hailing successfully." Now, honestly, if Tesla doesn't do it, there is no one else who will do it because they're so ahead that, and also they're very conservative. ARK Invest, they have their very conservative approach. I'll give you an example. We're looking at the North American autonomous vehicle adoption as a percent of urban mile traveled. So I love this because a lot of people are talking about theoretical, you know what, in so many years we're going to have autonomous driving. They all say that as they're marketing, as they're launching their new project out there, but we're not talking about people that are actually doing the driving, right? The real autonomous driving, right? Um, we're talking about different competitors here. Waymo, they've been at the project before Tesla. And Tesla, in terms of mile driven, already surpassed them, right? They already set to surpass them in terms of mile driven. And again, Waymo started this project before Tesla. Now, Tesla estimates that by 2024, this is what they're going to have in terms of urban mile driven and autonomous vehicle. That's what they estimate. ARK Invest forecast that, hey, we want to go a little bit more conservative here, but we're saying this, and this is like around the 10%, and then they're saying around the 20%. Now, one thing they're both agreeing on is this region right here. This graph was flat. It starts to curving around end of 2022, beginning of 2023. That's when the curve starts to grow.
Yeah.
What does that mean? Again, we're looking at the North American autonomous vehicle adoption as a percent of urban mile travel. That's what we're looking at here, right? So make of this information what you will. If you wanted to buy a Tesla, if you wanted to be an investor, if you wanted to be an investor or a user, because that's where the world is going, there won't be any car owner anymore by 2030. You're either going to be an investor using this as a stream of income, or you're going to be a user. Which one you want to be? And if you want to use a car, shout out to J Bones. Shout out to J Bones, who's already a Tesla owner car. Can use this car to make some and as a stream of income. If you haven't done so, guys, I don't know. I would say maybe 2022 might be a good time to at least at least do something about it. And
Yeah.
yes, work it in your finance. When and one thing I see in this curve, man, I see that the curve starts to going up around there. So let that sink in, guys. Let
I
that sink
think
in.
the release of the full self driving pro beta to more and more users. They start with the top safest drivers, but the fact that it's now downloadable in the public, it means that even more data miles will be collected. It will be exponentially, and we're not even talking about those only in North America. Imagine those driving Teslas in China.
Mm,
Eventually, those who are going to drive Teslas in Berlin and Germany and Texas as well in the mainland US. And not
mm.
only Model 3s, Model Ys, Model S, Model X's, but eventually the Cybertrucks, eventually, all these other models, they will all collect data. Even off-road, they're collecting off-road data.
with with the cyber truck,
If you're lost in the far forest somewhere, Tesla knows where you are. So no, we'll bring you home. Don't worry.
of course.
It's
And
crazy.
and lastly, guys, I know we're letting on, and I know thank you for your time, Jay, for joining in
Oh,
and
no worries,
having this
man.
important discussion. And if there are anyone in the Black Traders Club here, let us know in the chat. Support your man, Jay, founder of the Black
Shout
Traders
out,
Club.
man.
But again, let me know, guys, and I'll share again the stream on the club so people can comment and evaluate. But guys, another point I wanted to bring, she talks about crypto as well, digital wallets, the adoptions there, very interesting, guys. Throughout the year you can see how more and more bullish she becomes in the crypto world. I follow her, I listen to her words. But there is one thing I wanted to bring to your attention today. It's the fact that she's talking also in that same document about the virtual world. Now, I don't know if you know, but earlier this week, actually a couple days ago, Facebook changed their names from Facebook to Meta, and it's to represent their new vision of the company to focus on the metaverse. The metaverse is basically another way of saying the virtual world and all the economy that can happen in the metaverse. Crypto will play a huge factor in the metaverse. If you want to know what the metaverse will be, your assignments for tonight is to go watch a movie, buy a popcorn. It's not too late, and watch Ready Player One. This is exactly what the metaverse will be in 20 years. So and from now until then, again, I think J Bones did mention that earlier in the chat. Find out how you make money from these guys. Find out how you make money from this. Ask yourself these questions. How do you get it? Here it is. J Bones, shout out to you, sir. How you get a piece of that cap capitalization exactly? How do you get a piece of that action, right? That's what you should ask yourself. How do you get a piece of that action? And in virtual world, guys, I was expecting this news to happen in February 2022. I had a whole crypto list ready to take advantage of this. This guy made the news. This guy made the news this week. Hey, let me ask you this, and maybe that's a conspiracy, a bit of knowledge, but what do you think of this news? Do you think that it was being pressured by the capital, the US government? Because, hey, he was being attacked. Mark Zuckerberg and Facebook, they were being attacked all over the place. You had US capital, right? You also had Apple that it was saying that they might remove Facebook off their platform, all that. You had data leak, right? All this drama happening. So I think it's a great timing for him to do it. It's just bad timing for me because I wasn't ready for it. I wasn't ready. And shout out to you, Andy Pierre. Which movie? Ready Player One. um I'll show you. I'll just show it to you soon. But yeah, hey, what do you think of it? What do you think of that?
When you think of the company that is best positioned to create the most realistic virtual world for humans, you think about which company has the most data between human interactions, how human interact with each other, and which company has the most data about that, the most data patterns in terms of comments, reactions. People think it's a like, a love, I care for you, I don't like that. and they can. We're talking about AI that can read, you know, any language, uh, not just French, English. We're talking about Spanish, all the languages that are on the platform,
Hmm.
all
Even
interactions.
translation, even Creole.
Exactly. The Facebook groups, the private groups, it's all data that Facebook collects, even in the messengers, how people communicate in private, you know, and not only Facebook, Instagram,
Instagram, WhatsApp.
WhatsApp, what else? I think
Yeah,
it's Messenger. So
Instagram Messenger.
Messenger, Instagram, WhatsApp, and Facebook, all that data and how humans interact with each other. And now they're gonna pour it in their universe called Meta. And they're gonna create this world where they have all these presets, all these patterns in how humans behave with each other on any issues, whether it's politics, whether it's economics, whether it's racial, whether it's they have it all. They have more than enough of what they need to replicate the real world in the virtual world.
Mm,
And companies are going to jump in on that. You know,
mm.
this is where cryptocurrency will will be
Go to the
massively adopted
moon.
because in that world, Facebook is the government, not the Fed, and the currency in that virtual world is controlled by Facebook. So I would say, how do you capitalize on that? J-Bone ask the companies that are going to create the cheapest and most reliable VR sets. Invest in those companies because people are going to need it. Think
Mm,
about the company. I would say because it's something that people are going to buy, probably retail companies probably going to be available in the Walmarts or in the Amazons. But definitely the companies that are going to create these VR sets. We have Oculus, but I'm not sure if they can scale to meet the demand, especially in China. So it's probably going to be I would say maybe a Chinese company or a big maybe North American conglomerate of
mhm.
video games, probably Microsoft. I wouldn't be surprised if Microsoft is because Microsoft has been successful in creating the you know the software, the computers that was a monopoly in the whole world at some point.
Mm.
So I wouldn't be surprised if Microsoft, maybe through Xbox, can create, if you want, a set, a VR set that will be a window or a point of entry in that new metaverse world. So I wouldn't be surprised. I would say definitely look into that. Look into the companies. Invest early in the companies that will create these VR sets, and also the cryptocurrency that that are likely to be used in that virtual world. And I think DM, which is the one that Facebook is working on, I wouldn't be surprised that you have some DM dollars in that world, and people are gonna consume. They're gonna buy real stuff. I mean, they're gonna
Yeah,
use the real
it
money.
was used to be Libra before, right? Like,
Yeah, Libra. Yeah, and it changed name because a lot of
yeah.
people wouldn't jump in. But yeah, definitely. I would say that all the data that Facebook has collected legally or illegally doesn't matter now. Uh, they're gonna use all that, and there's more data than we think. Think about you
Oh
know
yeah.
the date you created your Facebook account and how many pictures you said, how many status you've made, how many comments you've made. It's all stored somewhere.
Now let me ask you this, guys. Well, let me say this very quickly. Tomorrow we're going to have a stream dedicated to the metaverse, and just to answer your question, Mr. Andy Pierre, you were asking earlier about what movie? What movie we were talking about? This
Yeah.
movie right here. Go watch it tonight. Ready Player One. Great assignment. Bring your popcorn and soda if you want, but watch it, guys, because this will give you a perfect picture of what it will be like in 20 years, twenty
Well,
twenty
there's
five.
also there's also I would say recently with Ryan Reynolds, it's called
Yes,
Free Guy. So
yes,
that can
yes,
give you also an idea, like a free guy, and it's out there. I think it's on Disney Plus as well.
yes, yes. That very good point as well. Now,
Yeah.
guys, we're gonna make it for a specific stream for metaverse, and not just the metaverse, but yeah, anything related to that. I am if you want to know, I am I'm completely out of the stock market, Jay. I'm completely out of the stock market. I told you, I think I told you in one of your podcasts
Yeah.
last year. I did it. I did it. I sold all my stocks and I put it in one crypto, and that this crypto right now is doing good. It's doing good, and it's paying me dividends or staking rewards. So I'm
Nice.
actually averaging close to $500 a month just from the staking rewards alone, without selling anything. Right. So yeah, gonna grow this portfolio until I get it to 4,000, and then I can retire and join you in your endeavors
Yeah.
and go from there. But yeah, all that to say, guys, there is only one stock that I started buying, that I will buy the entire year of 2022, and it's directly related to exactly what Jay's just mentioned. Not just the metaverse, the virtual world, but also the like companies that you can buy that can leverage this, and it's specific for commercial use, that I want to buy this. Now, I believe in this company. I think it's good. It's undervalued right now to the limit. Again, what do I do, guys? I look for futures. I look for information like this, right? Sorry, guys. Let me pull it up for you. I look for information like this that tells me where to invest. That tells me, just like the rich people, guys. Then I go look at the most undervalued assets that can leverage from the boom of this news. When the news gonna drop, when the people are going to be excited, again, the lowest asset at the lowest market cap are going to have the most higher returns, right? If you take a, I learned that from crypto. If you buy a crypto at 1 cent, it goes to 2 cents. You just double your money. If you put
Mm.
$10,000, it goes up $10,000 every time it goes by 1 cent. And I've experienced this, and I'm telling you, man, this is a beautiful thing to see. You wake up one day, crypto goes 1 cent, your account goes up $10,000. But that can happen also in the stock market. It may not be 1 cent, it may be by $1 or two, but hey, $1 or two in the stock market can happen in a month, in 2 weeks. And there are companies like that are leveraging. You can leverage, and you join me in the Discord and ask me. I will tell you which company that I'm buying. If you're in the Discord and you ask me, I will tell you. With that said, guys, I didn't want to stay too long, but I just wanted to mention this guy. The virtual world is also part of innovation that will affect the next 20 to 40 years, guys. But look at what the research are saying. According to our research, revenue from the virtual world will compound 17% annually, from roughly 180 billion today to 390 billions in 2025 alone, right? This is just the virtual world. This is not including, well, this is also including augmented reality. We have the headsets, and then she goes on and breaks it down. Video game monetization alone, right? That could be part of the virtual world. Then there is so many more. She hasn't even break down the metaverse technically, and I believe in 2022 that is the information I'll be start looking into for her. What is a prediction for the metaverse in general? But crypto, guys, crypto and what Facebook is doing are definitely triggering a bull run. And the next big thing in crypto will be the metaverse thing because of what Facebook just did. I was waiting for this to happen in February next year, but it happened way earlier than expected. So if you guys are not making money yet on the metaverse, join us on Discord. We made an announcement on that the same day it happened, with clear instructions on what to do to make money out of that. Some people are already double on their money because of they made an investment the same day. So again, guys, this is just going to be the trend. This is going to be the trend for the entire next year, and look into it, guys. She was just talking about video games mostly on this document. Mo- Video games might be the biggest niche within the metaverse, right? And then you're going to have other people. People might want to do a conference. You might create an avatar. Everyone's gonna have their own unique avatar, and then you're going to have join a conference on the metaverse, right? Instead of traveling, that's going to affect the travel companies. So
The I
if you're
think one of the
invested in mobile,
biggest,
yeah.
yeah, I think one of the biggest upside is it's going to be like all the easy the content creators for
Mm,
video games. Look at all these in-apps games just for the Apple Store. how many games and how much money people are putting in these games. You talk about games like there's games like Minecraft and Roblox, and these
Mm.
are already enclosed communities. You talking about what was this very popular games that
Fortnite.
Fortnite, exactly.
Yo, they're so big now. They're fighting Apple, man.
Exactly. So this is just a game. So imagine you have all these games put together, and then you have Grand Theft Auto Online. You kind of go and you do heist, and it rewards you in real money for the metaverse for the heist you do in your game. So people are gonna be in their homes, earning a living from playing video games. I'm
Mm.
telling you, man, this is really the kind of world that us 90s kids were dreaming about. Man, if we could stay home and earn a living playing Nintendo, man, wouldn't that be great? And our parents were
Oh my
telling, oh,
god.
you never will happen. Well, guess what's happening, man?
Of course. And again, guys, ask me on the Discord. I will tell you guys. But I want to give you a hint. I want to give you a hint. Look at this graph. Look at this graph right here. Augmented reality market opportunity. All right. All the way to 2020. Look at the phone. Look at the glasses.
Yeah.
Revenue in the billions. Right. Again, guys. Again, guys. What do the rich do? They play golf. They go to the Cayman Islands. I'm looking into buying lands in the Cayman Islands right now. They go to the Cayman Islands, Puerto Rico, playing golf, you know, hot weather. And they have people like Cathie Woods, using her intellect, using her experience, using her knowledge, going out there, working hard, understanding where innovation is going, studying the financial sheet, talking to the engineers, to the founders, so that they can understand their visions and do they have the means to achieve what they say they want to achieve, and then come up with a nice, beautiful looking, colorful graph like this. Look at this sexy graph, man, with colors, glasses, millions and billions, telling you where to invest. Doesn't tell you which stock. This is where you join the Discord. I'll let you know. But man, at least if you don't want to join the Discord, do your research on your own.
Yeah.
It tells you, man, augmented reality is going to be a business. And that's what I was telling you earlier, Jay.
Yeah.
The next evolution of the smartphone could be the glasses. I think it will.
Definitely, the glasses have a lot of potential because it's something. Augmented reality is going to have like useful features. You're going to
Mm,
have integrated GPS. You're walking down the streets, and there's sometimes you're trying to look for a street name and it's dark, and you
mm.
don't see it. But with augmented reality, it flashes the street name. You're walking, I don't know, and then there's you're looking for a direction, and you have like an arrow telling you, okay, this is where you turn, and it's going to be for walking as well. And also, oh well, I want to. You're gonna have like an integrated mic and says, man, I'm hungry. Which Tim Hortons or which McDonald's doesn't have a big lineup? I'm hungry right now. And says, oh yeah, there's a McDonald's like 5 minutes later, but this one it's empty. And all the data, the information, it will tell you if they're gonna close in 5 minutes, if the ice cream machine is broken or something like that. All that information will be
Of
shared,
course.
man. Like the meta information, the meta reality, like it's gonna make life a paradise, man. It's crazy.
And and this is just the early versions. Now they're already working
Exactly.
on they're already working on chips that you can understand that can understand your brain pattern. So if you're thinking about something, your brain generates a wave, and then that
Yeah.
chip can decode that wave. So you might be able to talk with technology just with thoughts. And
Exactly.
that could be something just 10, 15 years away, guys.
And then
I think honestly, companies like DARPA, they already have that. It's just not
yeah,
available to the public. So again, we talk about a lot today, innovations. You guys see, and we didn't even talk about genomics. We didn't talk about going on space and the industry that can. I think the first we're already looking at the $1 trillion company. The first $250 company could be a space company. It could be
oh
SpaceX.
yeah, space mining. Oh my God.
Oh man,
You heard about that asteroid called Seashea 16?
the one that made of gold.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh man.
Imagine, man. I would only have like 1,000,000.1% of that. I'm set. I'm
Oh
good.
man, forget it, man. Hades, Hades said.
Oh
But
my
with that
god.
said, guys, there is so much. Go check out that document, guys. It's free information. I'm telling you, do not take it for granted, guys. Do not take it for granted. You used to have to pay tons of money to get half of what she shared. Not even as beautiful put as what she shared. She shared it for free, guys. Free.
Yeah.
Do not let this information go. Go through it. Very easy to read. Like I hate reading, and I loved reading this document over and over again. I believe next year, I'm hoping she released it again. But even if she doesn't, you have a clear direction of where to go and how to invest innovation. What you can also do to invest innovation, shout out to Jay for mentioning this. You can invest in ETFs. ARC ETFs facilitate access to innovation in some companies in the stock market and some that you may not have access yet that are part of these ETFs. So that, especially in genomics, especially if they're private. So she puts all that into one ETF so that you can leverage the trend and invest in innovation. You could just be an innovation investor alone, and then that could grow your portfolio alone. Me, I use it as a strategy for my growth portfolio, but for my dividend portfolio, I go more in the traditional or crypto realm for that. But guys, in a nutshell, that's what we have. And I don't want to take too much more time from Jay. Yolo, he was very generous with his time and we shared a lot. But Jay, I wanted to give you the last words. If you have any questions before we close, guys, let me know in the chat. I'm going to be open. And if you are in the groups, you want to know more about Jay and why he loves and when is he going to propose to Cathie Woods, let
Oh
us know
yeah,
in the
that's
chat. We'll ask him. We'll ask him. But before we get there, I wanted to know if there was like, as the founder of the Black Traders Club, what message would you like to say to millennials out there, or from basically any race, but especially in millennials in our community that are watching, that will be watching this replay? What will be your message in terms of investing in innovation and building wealth? What can you say about that?
money, or I would say investing and wealth building is cool. The same way that music and basketball is cool, investment and wealth creation, financial literacy is probably even cooler once you start, getting into that. Because look at me and Jean Charles, we're like me and GC, we're like we're like you, but we do listen to music too. We do love to watch basketball too. But now that we are into financial literacy, we're obsessed with that. We are investment junkies. We just can't help ourselves. And the same thing will happen to you. We just want to, if you want, call you to embrace it the way we are embracing it. And you will make a difference. It will make a difference in your personal finances. It will make a difference in the finances of the people around you. And
Mhm.
people around you are going to see your financial situation improve. And they're going to do the same thing. This is a strategy that we can all use together, and it collectively, being more curious about wealth and investment, it will enrich us. It will make us more money conscious. And collectively, we're going to attract more wealth. Just think about it. How many families in our community own homes? Quite a lot. Let's say about 1,000 families are homeowners. The house values went up a lot in the past 2 years. You take a bit of that equity, you would put it in a stock like Tesla. The stock will 10x. You return in the community at least $1 million net. You multiply it by 1,000. That's $1 billion in cash infusion in the community by this simple strategy. You took the money from the equity, you put it in the stock. The stock literally 10x. You took, of course, you're going to pay capital gains, but you took the cash back, and that cash, you wiped out some debt. You were able to fund someone that was launching his business or his restaurant. You have capital now to invest and to buy real estate, and to have to use the deferred strategy. So This is a simple strategy. And if we can all do it at the same time, this is what will create this movement, financial literacy, and this is what will change our communities, you know.
Mm,
But the fact that, it's not fully embraced, that's why, it's really get people to raise the interest about financial literacy. Many people confuse financial education with, you say the word education, what do they see? They see as classroom, they see a
yeah,
teacher, they see homeworks. That's not what education is. A very example that can reach you: you go to the bar, you talk to a girl the first time, you get rejected. You go to the bar next week, you try again, she talks to you, yeah, you're a nice guy, see you around. Then you try a third time, the girl gives you her number, and the fourth time you score. That is education. You have learned with practice, doing it over and over and over again, and then you got it. Same thing with education when it comes to money. You go on YouTube, someone who has tried over and over and over again, lost a ton of money, and he is basically shrinking uh, 5 or 10 years
the
of
learning curve.
experience in a single video. So you don't have to do the mistakes he did. He's telling you exactly what to do. So you get the information and you do the right decision. You do the right move. So the
Mm,
guy who tried, to pick up girls in the bar hundreds and hundreds of times, you don't have to get rejected hundreds and hundreds of times. He got rejected for you. Now he's telling you how to do it the right way so it works the first time. This is the education we're talking about. No, not go to bars and chase girl, but learn how to invest money. And
yeah,
what works for me is reading books. Start by reading. I started with the basic: think rich, think big and grow rich.
yeah.
How to win
Think and grow
friends.
rich.
Yeah, exactly. How to win friends and influence people.
Ooh,
The
good book.
richest man in Babylon.
I haven't
Rich
read that
dad,
one. I haven't read that
bro.
one. I'm going
Read
to read
it.
it this year.
The richest man in Babylon. And these are all free audiobooks on YouTube. You search The Richest Man in Babylon, Rich Dad Poor Dad. It's free on YouTube. If you have and you don't have to listen to the whole audiobook right now, but 15 minutes a day while you're driving, while you're commuting, whatever.
Hmm.
So you get the information for free, and then you're like, man, oh my God, if I knew that before, but it's available. You need to know that it's there, it's free, and it's like the reports. Take a 10 minutes a day just to read one page at a time from the
Hmm.
Cathie Wood investment ideas, and then this is how you will have investment strategies and investment opportunity for your investment. So this is
Yeah,
how you win at the
a-
end.
absolutely. And before we go, I just want to give a quick shout out. Just like, oh, just want to give a quick shout out to J Bones and Aaron B, Andy, everyone who's been really active on the chat. Thank you. So he's saying J Bones saying that, hey, I've already been reading on the metaverse 6 months ago. It's basically virtual money is on its way. The college student I tutor are already dumping money into it. It's game time. Absolutely, man. The market cap from the entire metaverse in crypto went from 3 billion to 13 billion in 3 days, and it keeps going up. So more money. I've actually I'm slightly late. I had to wire some money, and then I was my withdrawal was being stuck for 24 hours. That cost me 100% of the crypto. I'm mad, but tonight after the stream, I'm going to make that purchase already. But hey, guys, the metaverse is the new next big thing in crypto. So same thing that happened in Shiba will be happening in one of the cryptos in the metaverse as well. And now we're just starting the bull run again. It's starting to kick off again. So yes, again, thank you for your comment. Also, J Bones, Ready Player One will be a huge game changer. Jump on it, yeah, yeah, guys, yes, that's it. R&B, Xbox, Nintendo, when we're talking about video games and how we can, if you could make money out of that. J Bones, we're also almost getting closer to 1,000 subscribers. Yes, absolutely. Thank you. And shout out to everyone who subscribed. The last couple days, I will notice I got a lot of subscribers all of a sudden. Thank you very much for everyone who's new. Make content to help you increase your net worth. build generational wealth. I'm huge in generational wealth. It's not just about making money, it's also about keeping it and multiplying it. You need all three if you want to be wealthy, but you can be rich mastering any one of these three. But if you want to be wealthy, be good. You don't have to be great. Just be good at all these three and you'll do fine. We talk about that on our course. We talk about that on the Discord. We share opportunities almost every day to so that you can invest, especially in crypto these days. I'm 100% in crypto, so this is where the future is. Now we're looking at crypto and metaverse. All right, so again, guys, shout out to you, Aaron B. I'm still here, but J Bone is not. It's okay. It's okay. He was very here, and I think IP. Shout out to IP. He probably has a stream there. I'm going to join him right after this as well. Oh, he's here. Actually, yes, 1,000 subscribers is coming up. JC, we will get there. Keep moving. Absolutely, we'll keep working hard. This year, I'm taking YouTube very seriously. YouTube is going to be a huge marketing platform for small business owners. Their approach to marketing and ads are more efficient and convert better than Facebook. Facebook has the data, YouTube has the platform to build the rapport with your audience, and that converts a lot better for a small business. And as of now, YouTube ads are way cheaper, so that encourage more business to jump in there as well. With that said, guys, we'll call it for the end of the stream. But again, guys, thank you for joining in. If you guys want to learn more about what Jay is doing, join his club, Black Traders Club. It's on Facebook. I will leave a link. I will leave a link to this club as well. It's very fun clubs. You don't have to be black to join. You can anyone can join. But yes, it's definitely to support the community as well. We share information, and as us and the community, we desperately need that because it's rare to have people that look like us that talks about finance, talk about investing. So we want to motivate that as well. And Jay is leading the forefront with that with this new group, and I help anywhere I can as well. So with that said, guys, thank you again for your time, and we'll net tomorrow check in. We'll be talking about the metaverse. I made an exclusive stream just for that, based on the news that was happening this week. So tune in for this. But even on this stream as well, Jay also shared some great games on the metaverse alone. Go watch the movie Ready Player One. This is also a great assignment for you, and we'll meet you tomorrow. With that said, thank you again for your time. Bye.